Retailers love Valentine's Day. The National Retail Federation predicts we will spend $29 billion on Valentine's Day. Bob Phibbs is the CEO of the Retail Doctor. He says the upper income bracket is leading the way.
Higher households who are expanding their gift list to include coworkers or people they do services for them, and even their pets.
I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Costos, and watching sports isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And my show is not a job, it's a passion. From the NFL playoffs to the NBA and everything in between, celebrate sports with me every day on You Better You Bet from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. Download the Odyssey app now and listen to Westwood One Sports from anywhere. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos, live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the Radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the Radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, baby! Come on, all of y'all. Let's get ready to rock and roll. I am hyped today. I said a prayer for you, and even you haters. I sent them out to you. What's going on? It's Reese on the Radio right here live on WTIC News Talk 1080. I want to give a shout out to my homies. You know who you are. You are the fine, beautiful, gorgeous even, men and women who listen to the show at home, sitting at home right now. Of course, people like the Eanes who sit at home and listen to the show in its entirety. Some of you, sit at home after you've done your work day and go back and listen to the show. But you are my homies because you listen at home. Other guys are on the road. You folks who are my roadies, that's who you are. Not my roadie, but you know what I mean, my roadies. Those who are on the road driving the heart and soul of this country. You people on the road dealing with the traffic, those animals. Stop merging! What? Nice blinker, dude. Nice blinker. You guys, I respect you. I don't understand why people get so outraged. Roseanne is the worst backseat driver or next door driver or passenger seat driver. She will curse out the driver that I've got to deal with from the passenger seat, in essence, putting me and my life in jeopardy while I am as patient as they get. So I want to give a shout out to all of those people, the homies and the roadies, who are out there doing what they can and enjoying the show every weekday afternoon starting at 2 o'clock. I also want to give a shout out to, if I may, I want to give a shout out to this young lady. Never met her, but if anyone knows her, please tell her to call me so I can speak to her. Her name is Mona Colwell. Mona Colwell. She posted something last night that nobody told me about. Apparently there was an event last night called Meet the Candidates, where everyone from Aaron Stewart, Ryan Fazio, Betsy McCoy, George Austin, none of these people called me. I thought we were cool. I thought I was your homie G Money Slice Grip, but I didn't get an invitation, and I heard Chris is here. Chris B is in the house. Chris, what town was this in that I said?
I don't know.
But near Meriden, the town near Meriden.
Chester.
Oh, Chester.
Near Middletown.
Yeah, Chester. Thank you. My boy Chris B is in the house chilling out with me today. We'll bring him on. You guys remember him from last time. He's really, really into Jethro Tull. Are you still into Jethro Tull?
Oh, not that much.
Okay, right. You used to be.
I used to be.
Used to be. Okay. Anyway, you guys remember him. Craig in the car, you guys remember. He's a big rock aficionado. Actually, I've got a great conversation for you and me today during the 5 o'clock hour during music news. I don't know if you saw it in the New York Post, but Gene Simmons has made some news today, and I will get. Don't look it up. I'm going to ask you like right off the bat. I want your honest opinion before you read into it. We'll get into that a little later. Anyway, Mona Colwell actually put on X the event. She took video of each candidate and put it out online because I didn't know anything about it. There was no memo sent out for this. I would have loved to have gone to see all the candidates go out there and meet with one another, which, by the way, means that we can do this debate with all of the candidates together answering questions. You know, seemed like this was a very cordial event with Republicans getting together, talking to people about what their platform is. So I hope we can get it. We can get it done. Did I say? I said Jethro Tull. I say it like that, Spawn. I really don't say it like the regular folks do. I say it like I would brothers. What's that? Yeah, and birthday. Yes, Jethro Tull. I don't know. I don't even listen to him. All I know is that Chris really likes them, or at least he used to. So if anybody knows who she is, Mona Caldwell, tell her I would really love to hear from her. And thank you for posting those videos last night because I got an opportunity. She was, in essence, the only person putting media online for people to watch the candidates as they spoke. And that was a good deal. It was nice to find it out. In fact, when I looked up on Grok to see if anyone else had covered the event, Grok mentioned Mona's post as the only place that you could see it. So kudos to her for taking care of the rest of us who could not make it or didn't get an alert to go. Last night, we learned that the SAVE Act has gone through Congress. And if you're asking yourself why it got one Democrat vote, I am going to answer that question today, folks. Henry Cuellar, the lone Democrat out of Texas who voted with the Republicans, why would he stray from the Democrats and all the nonsense they've been spewing about the SAVE Act? Oh, it's called political survival. Oh, it is political survival. Don't worry about all that nonsense, but we'll get to that as well. Also today, we are going to do Negro nonsense, but we're going to do a little different today. There's a little bit of, let's say, classwork today. Normally, I would give you guys homework, but today I want to do a little bit of classwork. So if you're not driving, roadies, do not do this until you've stopped, maybe at a red light or at a delivery post. But make sure you are stationary. Do not do this while you are driving. Homies, get out the computers. It's a little bit of homework. I want you to look up 2 phrases, okay? One, you may not get anywhere. The other one, you will. I want you to look up a term called Negro drivers. This is important. This isn't racist. It is not racial. This is a thing. When you find it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about today. Especially those, 8 or 9 African Americans who listen to the show. I want you to look it up as well. This is a part of your history that you are not familiar with. Now, I told you that this February I would not be doing any Black History Month stuff. But this one is important for Negro nonsense because the information that I have gathered, and I don't know what came to me, but it popped into my head. I said, I know that there is a definition for this. And sure enough, there was. And there's a long history that goes behind what is called the Negro driver. You've probably never heard of it, and you've probably seen it. But here's where it gets interesting. It turns out that this distinction is also referred to when speaking about people like Barack Obama and Hakeem Jeffries. Look it up and then go, no! Yes. And I have all the evidence of it today. We'll get into it. So, stand by. More news and more views than you can shake a stick at. But let me get to my opening monologue about the SAVE Act. This is not going to change anything, let's just say substantial, in Connecticut at all. It is not going to help Connecticut have a free and fair election. However, it will gum up the works. Let me explain how it will, because I went to look this up just a couple of minutes ago, and I thought this was important. I asked, how will the SAVE Act change things in Connecticut? And it says, if enacted, effective dates vary by provision, but many would apply immediately or for the next federal cycle, which is the 2026 midterms. The proof of citizenship for federal voter registration, voters will need to provide documentary proof of citizenship, e.g., U.S. passport, birth certificate, naturalization certificate, or certain tribal documents when registering to vote in federal elections. Standard driver's licenses or real IDs, even if compliant. Social security cards or affidavits alone would not suffice in most cases. Standard driver's licenses, real IDs, even if compliant. Social security cards or affidavits alone would not suffice in most cases. This would be a major shift for Connecticut where self-attestation currently works. Connecticut Secretary of State Stephanie Thomas has called prior versions bad for Connecticut, warning it would create barriers, increase administrative burdens on local registrars, and potentially disenfranchise eligible voters, especially those without easy access to documents like low-income, elderly, young, and naturalized citizens. Now, again, this is my favorite part of this debate, is that people will not have access, or some people will not have access to birth certificates or documents. Now, I got to be honest with you. What's so scary about what these people think of poor folks in this country is that poor folks don't think birth certificates are important. I grew up poor. I know a lot of my friends who grew up poor. And parents are really particular about their documentation. Birth certificates, social security cards, these things are important. Why are they important? Well, in order to get on food stamps or any welfare, you must have that documentation. What are they providing to the welfare office if they're getting food stamps or EBT cards? What are they providing? What woman in her right mind would not be able to find the documents that she needs if she were on some form of government program? I mean, we're not really talking about women who got married and have changed their names. You know that they're talking about the dumbest women. Let's come on. Stop playing games with me. I don't want to hear any leftists screaming and hollering and say, "What you saying, Reese?" No. Listen to me. If you don't know how to get a birth certificate or a social security card, and you can't find someone in your social circle who can teach you how, or you can't put your silly little fingers on your smart device to find out where, you may very well be the dumbest person on the face of the earth. And what Democrats are telling us is that a whole swath of them are dumb women. Come on. Tell me otherwise. And I want to hear you liberal men, come on, pull up your panties, get on the phone and tell me how silly I am. Tell me how disrespectful I am. I know. Come on. Pull out your thong. Tell me why I'm ridiculous. Because that's what the Democrat Party is telling you. They're saying that the women of your party are too stupid to figure out how to get a new birth certificate or to change their name when they get married. Have you folks ever had to do it? Have you ever had to explain it to a woman? So you see here, sweetheart, we go down to the building and we fill out this document. Yes, that's no. Don't be scared. It's all right. No. I will read it to you, sweetheart. I will read you the document. I find it incredibly silly that every day I have to be told by young black men, old black men, hell, every liberal male, women are smarter than men. They're the most educated of all of us. They go to college more than anybody else. Don't they? They tell us that all the time. And then miraculously, when the voter ID law comes out, all of a sudden, everybody switches, turns into a transformer and just goes, but the women is dumb. And then you think that I'm supposed to vote for that nonsense. So which is it? Which is it? Are these women the brightest, the smartest, the leaders? Are these the women that we're supposed to follow? Because I'm under the impression we need to remove ourselves from the patriarchy and follow the matriarchy. Why? Because these women are nurturers and smarter and go to college and have more college degrees than the rest of us. Except when it comes to getting a birth certificate. For some odd reason, then they all woke up by the swing of a hammer to the brain. For some odd reason, now you're telling me that a woman wakes up and goes, I believe that I can solve the world's problem. Hey, honey, it's time to get a new birth certificate. Duh. Don't confuse me. Come on, man. Come on. I want to hear it. Let me see it in the chat room. Let me see it on my text messages. Come on. Explain it to me. I so badly need this to pass. I need it to pass, not only that, because I want to go out there into the street, and I want to see all the women in the street bumping into each other like bumper cars, trying to figure out, I want to see it. I want to see them bumping into each other. That's what I want to see, because that's exactly what you're trying to explain to me, that all of a sudden, out of all the issues in the world that these women can solve, the birth certificate is stopping them. That's what you think it is. Here's what I suggest. Men, if you want to be in charge of your home, I figured out what you can do. Tell your wife that she is in charge when she can fill out a birth certificate application. And if she can't, you rule the roost. Do you understand? It's as simple as that. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio.
When it comes to painting your home, do not do it yourself. Call the pros at CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business independently owned and operated, and they provide worry-free, excellent work. They are so clean, and it's all at the right price. I mean, with over 70,000 five-star reviews, the proof is in their painting. And it's so easy to schedule your free estimate for painting the outside or inside of your home or business. Just go online to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
UConn's Silas Demery Jr. and Braylon Mullins know winning takes trust, hustle, and the right team.
I work both ends of the court. That's the only way to win.
And when the pressure's on, I trust my team on the court and in life.
That's why they trust BPS lawyers, handling personal injury, family law, and more.
I'm Nick Payne-Darris. At BPS Lawyers, we're one full-service firm. All your legal needs, always.
BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish, low energy, if your sleep is off, or if you're hitting the gym but not seeing real progress, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments, combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or visit northeastmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 2:30, Hartford temperature 35 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We'll hear from Bob Cox with the forecast details coming up. The EPA has revoked a key scientific finding that supported U.S. regulations on greenhouse gas emissions. The decision rescinds the 2009 declaration that carbon dioxide and other gases endanger public health. Two school bus crashes in 2 days in Connecticut. One this morning in Watertown, where a bus was rear-ended by another vehicle. That bus had 10 kids on board. None were injured. This comes after a man driving under the influence allegedly struck a school bus Wednesday in Southbury. Several children were seriously injured, although none of the injuries was considered life-threatening. Investigators are pleading with people to share home surveillance camera footage from specific dates leading up to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, as they deal with thousands of tips in their hope to crack the case. The 84-year-old mother of Today host Savannah Guthrie has been missing since February 1st. 54-year-old woman is under arrest in South Windsor after the police there say she allegedly broke into several vehicles in town, used a stolen credit card to withdraw tens of thousands of dollars. Kimberly Main is charged in 2 other states on similar offenses. Bond has been increased from $1 to $2 million on charges of attempted murder for a 33-year-old Bridgeport resident, João Victor Borges. He was accused of attempting to murder his ex-wife. He was arrested on Christmas Eve last year trying to cross into Canada. Federal judge has blocked the Pentagon from punishing Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, the former U.S. Navy pilot, for participating in a video that called on troops to resist unlawful orders. WTIC News time is 2:32. Bob Cox has the forecast.
We'll keep it mostly sunny out there this afternoon until 5:20 when sunset occurs. Temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Feels a little bit chillier because of a northwest breeze at 10 to 15, gusting over 20 miles per hour at times. Tonight, mainly clear sky, lows 9 to 17 degrees. Sunshine Friday, light wind, highs tomorrow in the low to mid 30s again. A little disturbance dropping down out of the northwest Friday night might produce a couple of flurries or snow showers late at night. Only about a 30% chance for that, though. Lows in the upper teens and low 20s. Can't rule out an early flurry or snow shower Saturday morning. Otherwise, it becomes mostly sunny with highs approaching 40. And a mix of sun and clouds Sunday with highs 35 to 40 degrees. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Checking traffic, still have a rollover working in Meriden on the northbound side of 91 between exits 15 and 16 that takes out the right and center lanes. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Atom X by Audion Hearing. The Atom X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Atom X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-295-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Atom X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-295-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-295-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
President Trump said, "I like Newsmax. You like it too." It's true. Millions of Americans agree with President Trump, and they're switching to Newsmax for the news they can trust. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start. Go to newsmaxplus.com for immediate access. Get all of President Trump's most important events live. Imagine watching Mike Huckabee's Israel special, our Melania documentary, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Kirk specials, even the movie Jesus of Nazareth by Franco Zeffirelli. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. So try it for free. Go to newsmaxplus.com, then download the app. It's easy. So make the switch to Newsmax Plus today.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio right here on WTIC News Talk 1080. Thank you, Rattlesnake. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you laughed. And it's absurd and it's stupid and it's ridiculous the way that people are framing the Slave Act. Well, they keep calling it Jim Crow 2.0, and I can't help but think let's just call it the Slave Act. In fact, if they had thought of that, they could have framed it that way. Imagine a PR that would have happened if they had said that. Anyway, so all of it is absurd, all of it is ridiculous and stupid, and everybody knows that. It's not important. But I wanted to play this because this shows you exactly how ridiculous this whole thing is. And in my opening monologue, if you missed it, please go to WTIC.com. In about an hour, it'll be up. And at the end of the show, it'll be, of course, available there at ReeseOnTheRadio.com. In one breath, they keep telling us that women are the smarter of the sexes. They keep telling us that more and more women, especially black women, are joining the ranks of the collegiate ranks than ever before. Girls are smarter than boys. We keep being reminded of that every single day. And then the issue of the birth certificate comes up, or the issue of voter ID comes up, and they come up with this ridiculous idea that women are the dumbest to ever live. And they sort of have it both ways. But now, of course, there's evidence that this is who the Democrats and the progressives are. And boy, do I have some great evidence for you. This was during the pandemic. And it's always crazy that almost everything in our lives today can go right back to the pandemic to show you exactly how much of a hypocrite these folks are. So imagine this. Let me see. MSNBC. I have it here. This is what MSNBC had to say about vaccine mandate locations. Now, this is a report on the now defunct MSNBC, which is now MS Now. This is them talking about which places had vaccine mandate IDs.
We've been seeing across the country, as you know, New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, New Orleans, just a few of the cities who have already had these vaccine mandates in place. Here in Chicago, as you mentioned, as well as Philadelphia, those mandates take place today.
Now, every one of those places she mentioned was a Democrat stronghold. Every one of them. These vaccine mandates. That's where they were. But she was sitting in Chicago, and it was rather cold. This is the second part of her report on MSNBC. Listen closely. I'll even play it twice for you.
Here in the Windy City, what that looks like is anyone aged 5 years and older must show proof of being fully vaccinated.
What? What? 5 years old? Must have proof of being fully vaccinated? I wonder how he's going to do that. Is he going to put up his arm and go, see, I got my shot? No! He's got to have documentation. He's got to show up. He's got to have something in his hand. Okay, Timmy, show the man your vaccination. Here you go, sir. Scan it for me so I can go in and get my Chuck E. Cheese.
Here in the Windy City, what that looks like is anyone aged 5 years and older must show proof of being fully vaccinated, that vaccination card. Then if you're 16 years and older, you have to have a photo ID.
What? If you're 16 years old, you have to have a what? A photo ID? Are you insane?
That vaccination card. Then if you're 16 years and older, you have to have a photo ID to accompany that vaccination card. The city here is saying, look.
Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. For some odd reason, I feel like this woman said that you had to have a vaccine card, and if you're 16 years and older, you had to have a photo ID. Now, hear me out. I don't want to sound crazy. So you're saying that women are dumber than a 16-year-old. Okay, all right. I mean, finally somebody said it. I'm so proud of you. Saying the thing that many of us have been thinking for a long time. I don't feel like a chauvinist now. I don't.
This is a way to try and decrease the spread of this virus. As we know, Omicron is just surging across the country here. We've been talking to business owners, restaurant owners who say they've got mixed feelings of this.
She said Omicron. Is she sure she doesn't mean Unicron? It's not Unicron? I always thought it was Unicron. It's Omicron? Okay. Which one's Unicron? Is that from the Transformers? Played by Orson Welles, by the way.
Are frustrated, worried about having to hire more staff to try and police this. Others say, look, a year ago, we had zero business. Our doors were forced to close, so this is a way to try and stay open and keep everyone safe. Important to note here that the city of Chicago says they will be enforcing this.
They will be enforcing the ID and vaccine cards. I wonder what the enforcement's going to be. Perhaps she'll tell us. Or maybe she won't. She is a woman. She's older than 16. She may not even know.
One who's violating this mandate will be fined and even forced to close for a day.
Yeah, that's right. The store, the location that you're traveling to will be forced to close if you do not follow these rules. And I just found that out of the blue. I was going, what the hell is this ridiculousness that I am seeing here? No one seemed like, again, and this is, listen to me, folks. Hear me out. No one was screaming about anyone being able to get an ID. Think about it. Before COVID, they said that poor people could not obtain an ID. That has been said since the 90s, years before COVID, decades even. Couldn't get an ID. COVID comes around, you better have your ID. Was that not discriminatory towards the poor and indigent and women? Wasn't it? They were making them get an ID for COVID. No one ever said that it was going to be a racist Jim Crow era. I mean, come on. If there was anything that was as close to Jim Crow, would it be voter ID or vaccine identification? Come on. Imagine Cletus moseying on down to the Woolworth. Hi,
I'd like to get some apple pie for me and the missus. Boy, you got your vaccine card? Well, no, sir. We poor travelers who don't have that much money to buy the ID, we were hoping on your good faith you would give us some of that sweet apple pie. You get on out of here, boy. You ain't got no ID. We ain't serving you. Now go in the back. What you doing here in the front entrance anyway? You ain't vaccinated. I mean, come on. Can't go into a restaurant, huh? Seriously, why didn't you just have colored or unvaccinated water fountains? Why not? I mean, seriously. Let's just call it like we say it. I just want to say, because this is, to me, this is always something I've said for the longest, folks. This is for the longest, I said. The Democrats have never changed. This is who they are. This is always who they are. They were like that way during COVID. They're like that now. Telling everybody what they can and cannot get. What about women who have no access to get their birth certificate? What? Who are these women? They used to be able, you remember when the Democrats used to do this? When they were trying to make a point, they would get all of the women or all of the people they were talking about. Remember that? When COVID was out and they wanted everybody to be vaccinated, out of nowhere, physicians were coming out of the woodwork, standing behind them while they were out having press conferences. And they were all cheering. That's right, get your vaccination. We're going to get ours now, too. Look at us. Where are all of these women? They have not rallied these women to come out of the woodwork and get their testimony. Hi, ma'am, tell the world about how difficult it is to get your birth certificate. I tried. I just can't find my birth certificate. We don't see them. I have not seen a fair representation of these idiots they seem to say cannot get their birth certificates changed or their IDs changed. We should be parading these people around. Or perhaps the truth is the truth. They don't exist. That's all I'm saying. It must be one or the other, folks. That's all I'm saying. It's one or the other. It's either there are 20 million denunts running around who can't figure out how to change their ID, which, by the way, should be a travesty. We should have a government program for these people, shouldn't we? Like, we should have developed something for this, right? If we could develop a program for 20 million illegals that got into the country for free, and we managed to give them thousands of dollars and room and board, if we could do all that, why aren't we doing something for those 20 million ignorant folks who can't seem to figure out documentation? We should have a government program, shouldn't we? Let's say we should call it Girls Without ID. Maybe, yes, Women Without Identification. Or, let me see. Let's think of another one. Let me see. Oh, I got it. I figured it out. I figured it out. It's a good one. Women. No, that's not a good one. Okay, I had one. I think one. It's in my head. It's almost there. Aha. Broaders Without ID. No, that doesn't work. Not that one. Doesn't work. My wife is here. She's looking at me. Chicks Without Pics. That's a good one. I'm going to applaud you for that one. That's actually pretty good. Thank you. Who says women are stupid? The Democrats do. Let's take a break. We'll be back. I got so much other stuff to get into. Plus your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. We'll be back. It's Reese On The Radio.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Need good tech advice?
Must be a computer error.
Tune into the Gold.com award-winning Computer Talk with Tab. Saturday mornings 9 to 11 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
God, I love technology.
Eric Semmel and Dennis Howland of Tab Computer Systems will keep you updated with tech news you can use and answer your technology questions live on the air. Miss a program? Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in from anywhere via the Odyssey app. Computer Talk with Tab. Saturday mornings on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back. By the way, Eric, yes, the whole purpose, and I was trying to explain to people over at BNI, the thing that I went to, that's the whole purpose. The hats, the T-shirts, those are all a part of the campaign, that these items sort of play as a secondary character on the show, on a video version of the show. So I'm a big T-shirt guy, and I'm a baseball cap guy. So if, any of the guys that are with your group, if they're interested, please, send me a T-shirt, send me a hat. Of course, I'd love to wear it. And so it is a representation of local businesses here in Connecticut, because we support local businesses, because you guys are the drivers of the economy here in the state. And the more you stay, even though I know sometimes it's hard, we want to help you stay here if we can. Let's get to some phone calls real quick before we get to the top of the hour. Russ is in Stafford Springs. How are you, Russ?
Hey, Reese. Actually, I'm in South Carolina. I moved to South Carolina.
Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to the show, and I hope it's nice and balmy down there.
It's about 60 degrees. I kind of like it.
Not bad. What do you got for me?
I have it's kind of off subject a little bit.
Okay.
I joined the Army back in 1985.
Okay.
And I did my basic training. I did my AIT, and they sent me to Germany after all of that. So it was in the beginning of '86, and this is kind of a long story. I'm sorry.
Well, I've not got that much time. Can you get to the crux of was it a point that you wanted to make, or was it a question you had?
Yes. No, I have a point to make.
Okay.
Connecticut has been a welfare state for so long, and this is a story about how long. When I first got to Germany, I had my first formation.
Mm-hmm.
My platoon sergeant was from Chicago, and I'm from Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And during the formation, he's like, "We got a new soldier here. He's from Connecticut. Oh, and by the way, the Chicago Bears are going to kick the Patriots' butt in the Super Bowl." I I didn't care about that.
Right.
I'm not a Patriots fan.
Okay.
So to get to the point is after the formation, one of the soldiers came up to me and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "I'm from Puerto Rico. You're from Connecticut?" He goes, "That's where I'm going when I get out because they got the best welfare in the country."
You know what? Listen to me. You are not the only person to tell me this story. I know this very well. Oh yeah, you're not the only one. I swear to you, I've heard that story before. Not in the military, but I have heard that story before. Somebody else was somewhere, and they told them that I can't wait to get to Connecticut because they have some of the greatest welfare in the country.
It's stuck with me ever since then. It's like that state is never going to turn around.
You want to laugh?
I don't see it.
Russ, you want to laugh? Roseanne and I just read an article a week ago, and you could probably find it online as well. Connecticut has the largest concentration in the state of Puerto Ricans.
Well, it's not so much about them.
No, I get it.
But I'm in South Carolina for a reason.
I know.
And I worked for the state. I worked for the state for 36 years, and I took off as soon as I could.
I know. I totally get it. We got Ralph from South Carolina who calls in all the time, says the same thing. I mean, he loves it up here. He listens to he listens to this station all the way down there, as I see you do, because I know that deep down inside, you guys see it as maybe one day, it's sort of like this hope upon hope that maybe things will turn around in the state. And I'll be honest with you, I'm here, and I'm hoping I can bring it. I'm hoping that one way or another, we can return this place to some sense of glory.
Well, here's my opinion on that. The Titanic saw the iceberg and couldn't turn. It's going to be a long time.
Yeah, look, maybe I'm an idealistic fool, but you know what? I kind of look at the world from my own eyes, and I say, anytime I ever thought something wasn't possible, I never achieved it, but when I gave it hope, I always did. And so I'm giving this one hope. I understand that a lot of people have just gotten tired and it's become redundant, and I get it. I totally do. But maybe, I don't know, maybe I am a fool. But then again, you kind of need a fool to run into that kind of, mayhem and see if they can turn it around. Sometimes in order to get change, you need fools.
Hey, Reese, I listen to you as much as I can because you're the hope. So,
oh man,
I would love to see Aaron Stewart get in there. Who knows?
Hey, we're gonna listen. The objective is, and I say this to everybody, have your candidate. It could be Aaron, it could be Ryan, it could be Betsy, it could be whomever. But let's go. We've got one goal. Lamont's got to go. That's the only goal right now. He has got to go.
Lamont and all of his cronies.
Indeed. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Good talking to you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Take care, Reese. You too.
Thank you, man. All right, we'll take the rest of these calls, guys. Stay on the line. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to grab you later. Let's get to the WTIC newsroom. John Silva is getting you there, and it's Reese on the Radio. We'll be back.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the Radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
3 o'clock, 32 degrees, sunny skies for the balance of the afternoon, low and mid-30s. We'll have the forecast details coming up. At the White House this afternoon, President Trump announced that major contributors to climate change will no longer face government regulation, and he blamed former President Barack Obama.
His EPA designated fossil fuels such as oil, gas, and other things that actually make factories rock and roll and other things drive very nicely as a threat to health and human welfare, known as the endangerment finding. This determination had no basis, in fact, had none whatsoever.
Border czar Tom Homan says the immigration crackdown in Minnesota is over.
We have a lot of work to do across this country to remove public safety risk who shouldn't even be in this country.
and to deliver on President Trump's promise for strong border security and mass deportation.
He says it was a success and left Minnesotans safer and not a haven for criminals. Some are calling for investigations into the deaths of 3 civilians during the detail that began in December. No injuries in a crash involving a school bus in Watertown this morning. Police say the bus was stopped for traffic on Guernsey Town Road around 8:30. It was hit from behind by an SUV. That vehicle was then hit by a third vehicle. Investigation is ongoing. On Wednesday, a man was arrested in Southbury for DUI after he allegedly struck a school bus in which 2 students were ejected from that bus and others were injured. We've seen this movie before. The country once again hurtling toward another partial government shutdown.
On this vote, the yeas are 52 and the nays are 47. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. The motion is not agreed to.
And the big makeover at the Kennedy Center could lead to some big changes in staff, as we hear from CBS's Stacey Lynn.
In a staff memo, Kennedy Center President Richard Grinnell said the planned 2-year renovation shutdown will lead to job cuts and skeletal teams. He said department heads would evaluate needs over the next few months to see if the paredowns are temporary or will be permanent. The center is slated to close in early July. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
WTIC News Time 3:03, checking traffic. We've got some road work left over in Meriden on 691 westbound side between 1C and 2A. Left lane is closed. Looks like an earlier crash in Meriden on the northbound side of 91. Looks like that has finally been cleared. We still have some road work to deal with as well in Plainfield. Actually, this is a road closure in Plainfield. Both directions of 14 shut down near Sugar Hill Road from an earlier crash. Let's check the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
A few passing clouds for us on a swift breeze, and as we go through tonight, we stay partly cloudy with a low of 11. Tomorrow is mostly sunny and a bright, beautiful finish for our work week with a high near 37. Tomorrow night, though, the clouds come back in and there'll be a passing snow shower or at least a few flurries late. There'll be little to no accumulation for that, but where we do get a little accumulation, just watch out for some slippery spots. A low of 14. Heading into Saturday, Valentine's Day, it's a couple of flurries for us in the morning. Otherwise, sun and clouds for the afternoon and a high of 42. Sunday will be partly sunny with a high of 38. As we go into Sunday night, do watch. There could be some snow flurries around, but overall fairly quiet for us heading into President's Day, which is mostly cloudy with a chance for a rain or snow shower and a high near 40. As we head into the early week next week, we will find those temperatures staying a little warmer in the mid-40s. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow's down 358 points. NASDAQ's down 380. S&P down 71. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty, that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than getting stuck in an elevator with an overshare,
bean burrito for lunch.
You have Insuranoia. You should have NJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
What's up, world? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, chicken farmer, and now host of Free Range. This is a show where I go off the field and off the script. We're talking what's hot in music, film, trending news, and everything blowing up your feed. If you love football, you'll feel at home. But if you're here for the vibes, the internet deep dives, the conversation, this is your podcast. Join me every Wednesday. Follow and listen to Free Range with me, Von Miller, everywhere you get your podcast.
Celebrate Valentine's Day weekend as the Hartford Symphony and Concert Theater Works present Romeo and Juliet, a theatrical concert. Under the direction of music director Carolyn Kwan, the HSO performs along live actors in costume with dynamic staging and even a sword fight. Witness the greatest love story ever told, alongside musical excerpts from Sergei Prokofiev's original ballet music, February 13th through the 15th at the Bushnell. For tickets, call 860-987-5900 or visit hartfordsymphony.org.
My home is my happy place, but between pets and kids, my happy place has scuffs and dings. CertaPro painters came in and saved the day. They can level up your curb appeal on the outside of your home and get those hard-to-reach places on the inside, too. My team also made sure my cats didn't get out, and they left my place spotless. Each CertaPro painter's business, independently owned and operated. Protect your home investment with quality painting from CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Northeast Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you. It can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Northeast Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
By the way, later on in the program, I've got to talk about these petitions that are out there. One, of course, that exists now is the 5044 House bill. That is an important one, but I got a conversation today with someone who said that one of the other things that we need to be focusing on is also about the public benefits charge. We need to get a petition out there for that. If there's someone who has a petition out there on that about getting rid of the public benefits charge, let me know where it is, because we have got to get that petition signed as well so we can let these lawmakers know that we've got to put an end to that. That money is not benefiting anybody, but, a bunch of bureaucrats and a bunch of other cronies. So do what you can. Let me know where, just let me know where, if there's a place to sign a petition for the public benefits charge so I can get it out to the masses. Let me get to the phones real quick, a little early this time. Kimberly is on the line. Hello, Kimberly.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. What did you say during the break about NPR?
Well, no, I'm working with my editor to do something about the singing, and it was hilarious because there was about 30 people there in NPR, and he's sitting there filming everything. They did a handshake, they clapped. It was the total, I love you, you love me type of thing, and he kind of celebrated it. And then I asked him point blank, this is why you guys lost the funding. And here in Connecticut, I don't have my notebook in front of me with my notes, so if I'm off on numbers, please forgive me. But in Connecticut's NPR lost about 20%. Yeah. And where nationally they lost 1 to 2% when President Trump cut the funding. Yeah. So if they're still getting all their money from individuals who donate and all these other corporates and manipulating things. But my question for him is, they're all, it's all typical, clickbait likes, all that crap. Right. And he's sitting there stroking these people, which is basically anti-ICE people, and they're they're teaching people how to sing a song about justice. They're taking one of the classic, protest songs, and then they're taking... Are they making them sing which side? Are they making them sing, which side are you on, boy? Which side are... Oh, no, that's my favorite one. I just downloaded the whole thing. If you want to go listen to what happened at the whole thing. Okay. But here's the question I went to him to. I'm like, you're in front of the courthouse, and you're singing a song about justice for people who are arrested for crimes. Mm-hmm. These are not people being pulled out of your lawn places or businesses or factories. These are people in the federal courthouse who've committed crimes. And I asked him, point blank, are you going up and talking to the victim and asking the victim how they feel when you have these interfaith people using freedom songs that have come from the civil rights era to say these people who committed horrible crimes, and I don't have my notes in front of me, so I'm apologizing
okay.
to whoever's listening to this, but I named, the people in Waterbury who got arrested for drugs and guns and all that stuff, and then you have the guy in Stanford who killed the baby, and then you have people who have, done the unspeakable crimes. Are you talking to the victims about how they feel when these clergymen are all outside using the civil rights moment to justify singing this bad person shouldn't be thrown out of the country?
Yeah, it's
and
insane.
I asked, are you going to the other side? And he's like, they have to come to me.
Wow.
And then I told him, but you came to them. You're doing all these articles, and I'm already doing the research to see how many times. And it seems like every time he talked to, the other side, they get a non-comment, and that's how he's doing it.
Wow.
But that's going to be the article. So,
well, I can't wait.
Who follows me, you're going to look forward to that. What I wanted to go back to is what you were talking about with voting with the SAVE Act.
Yeah.
Here in Connecticut, I do know people who have trouble getting ID, and the trouble ID is not caused because they're stupid. But
okay, right. I'm sorry. I appreciate your honesty.
Well, no, because they're all being taken care of by nonprofits, and nonprofits make a fortune off of taking care of these people. Instead of moving them to a better place, they're literally setting them up for failure. I mean, there is a homeless woman who I know has been begging the nonprofits for her ID after she got robbed. Now, she's got dementia. She's, and her ID was stolen. Now, here's the question is, the nonprofits here in the state of Connecticut average $44,000 per homeless person.
That's correct.
And they do nothing. Yeah, that's my research.
No, you're 100% right. Your research aligns with mine. I looked that up as well. They get that it's a considerable amount of money. I thought it was lower than that, and I double-checked, and you're right. It's over $4,000. And here's the greatest part about this, Kimberly, is that their success rate is minuscule. It's unheard of. It's like zero.
Well, no, the problem is they actually set up people for failure. And I have documentations, and I'm going back to the woman without the ID. I'm telling you, they set her up for failure. She's missing part of her feet. Wow. She is having dementia, and she was dumped by her family outside. So this is not a drug addict or a criminal or anything like this. This is part of the 1/3 who is over 55 who are not getting services. But And I hated calling her dumb because she does have mental health issues and she can't get the ID. But the problem is we have all these nonprofits who make money off of helping these people. Instead of helping them, they set them up for failure.
But you're right about this point. And the crux of what you're saying is that that's right. We have NGOs that are funded by state dollars, tax dollars. And those tax dollars in the millions could be doing the thing that Democrats are saying these individuals, these poor, underserved communities, what they could be doing, especially on Election Day, because it's important to the NGOs to keep these people in power so that they continue to be funded, to use that money as an effort to make sure that their IDs are proper.
Well, you want to hear something crazy. The only people who can get their ID properly through these NGOs are illegal.
Yes.
And they would go through one of these, Heritage Foundation or one of these other organizations, and they will jump through hoops to get you your ID. If you're somebody else, they won't. Now, she's not the only one I knew had problems with her ID. There's another gentleman. He was released from incarceration. He lives in a tent. He has a hard time getting his ID.
Sure.
Granted, voting is a non-issue with him because he was incarcerated.
Okay.
But his ID shouldn't cost more than $10, $15 and just have somebody notarize it.
Right.
That's all he needs. He has asked these nonprofits just to notarize the paperwork so he can get his ID. And they're all like, we can't do that. Nope. And it's like, they sign this list so we can count you, so we can justify you for the funding.
Oh, wow.
But they won't do what they're supposed to do. And here's the crazy thing is, here in Connecticut, we're supposed to have rapid rehousing. if we ran rapid rehousing properly, we would have people housed for 2 years, financed everything, getting people permanently off of these issues instead of keep funding them through these programs.
Indeed.
For $29,000 a year per homeless person rather than $44,000 a year per homeless person. But we won't do that.
Yeah.
And Lamont and all these other nonprofits, they come up with these crazy notions like 20,000 people are not going to be able to vote if we do the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is not going to throw people off the vote. It's the fact that you guys do everything in your power to maximize money and do as little good as possible.
That's right.
And
so that they can, again, so they can ask for more money the next round of giving, if you will, because they haven't solved the problem in the first place, which is, again, the intent. So.
Right. Why I call this, and if you read my article about Champagne Socialists and Country Club Republicans, where I called our economic way is we're just chattel. Yeah. We're just counted just so they can justify our money. Now, here's the problem that I'm having with this, like nobody is talking about. What I don't understand is Lamont just opened up our emergency rainy day fund.
Yeah.
To basically fund these bad programs. And the reason why it is his slush fund to keep himself in office.
That's exactly what it is. And it's so funny because that money had been sitting there forever, and now all of a sudden it's been sitting there for a while. And, of course, he waits until the election year after he announces that finally, hey, guys, there's some money up for grabs. Kimberly, I got to grab some other ones, but I thank you so much. I appreciate all of that info, and I will check out your article, okay?
Thank you.
You got it. Is that somebody who's trying to get on? Is that an important one, Roland? He's on the phone there. Here I am asking him, and he can't tell me. Let me go to Mike, who's in... No, I'm sorry. I got to go Bill. Bill is in North Carolina. I promised him next. How are you, Bill? Thanks for holding.
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. What you got?
I heard last week you were talking about the movie Dirty Dancing. I just thought I'll let you know that it was filmed here in Rutherford County, North Carolina, in the Chimney Rock, Lake Lure area.
Now, the lake, I watched the documentary. The lake no longer exists. All the water's evaporated.
Yep, it was from Helene.
Yeah, that's so sad. I mean, during the documentary, one of the producers walks down to the area where they're practicing in the water, the big famous I guess the picking baby up scene where he picks her up and she runs to him. But there's a place inside the river where it takes place. She's standing there and it's all dry. It looks so bad. Do you live close to that area?
Well, of course, it's like I have to look up to find out how many miles it is. But it's pretty close to here in the community called Cane Creek. It's like we're closer to Rutherfordton, North Carolina, but it's Rutherford County, is the same size as Rhode Island.
Oh, wow. And was it a retreat of sorts? Was it like a little, what do you call it, like a resort?
Yeah, it was a resort. A lot of people come and vacation. It's a really nice area.
Wow. My thing is, I've watched the movie, of course, a bunch of times. If you've ever dated a girl, you have to watch the movie a few times. But I was just admitting that I loved the soundtrack. It was one of my favorite soundtracks that I kept on repeat, and I got a lot of hell for it just because I said that I listened to it, even though the album is solid, beginning to end, and people were giving me crap for it, saying that I had to give up my man card. So, but... Thank you. Are you originally from Connecticut?
Yeah, Andover. We came down in '89, and it was 2 years after the movie was in the theaters.
Oh, wow.
That's when we moved down to North Carolina. You could tell from my accent.
I totally can. But listen, I'm just thankful that even though you moved out of state, you still check out WTIC. That means there's so many people out of state who still listen to the station.
Yeah. A lot of friends I know down here never heard of WTIC.
Well, what a perfect time for you to spread the word, sir.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, Bill. Thank you so much for holding. Let me grab, now I can go to Mike in Thomaston. Hello, Mike.
So that excuse they're using about the birth certificates?
Yeah.
Connecticut, most of the towns now are digital. So you don't need to go to the original town to get it anymore.
Yeah, meaning you can get it online.
No, you can go to any town hall.
Oh.
And they can pull it from their original town.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're right, because everything is digital, and all they have to do is go into the database and get it. I remember I got my birth certificate online, and for some odd reason, I couldn't find it at home. It was in one of our files, and I went on the New York website to get my birth certificate, and sure enough, it was there, and they mailed it.
Yeah, I don't think they mail it here, but I was able to get my son, my 17-year-olds, just by going here to Thomaston. They were able to pull it out of Bristol.
Now, let me ask you an obvious question here. So you had to find a birth certificate for your 17-year-old. I'm assuming it's because you lost it. Did you lose it in like a move, or you just misplaced it?
I'm a pothead, so I have no clue where I lost it.
Okay. So there's a likelihood you still have it in the house.
Yeah, I probably got 2 or 3 of them now.
How long did it take you to replace it?
Minutes.
There you go. That's all you need to, you know what? That's all you need to say. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, anyone,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Anyone that can't figure that out ate leaded paint chips as a child.
You're absolutely right. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you. That's so true.
Have a good one.
You got it. He's so honest. Go ahead, Roland.
Yeah, I just got my birth certificate last October. No, last September.
Last September. We were talking just months ago.
Yeah, so
at least 4 months ago.
Yeah.
How did you lose it?
The only thing I had was the little small one. But to get your passport, you have to have the regular long.
You have to have the long form.
Yeah.
Yes, the one Obama doesn't have.
Yeah, so.
Sorry.
So I had to get that from Louisiana.
Wait a minute. Did you have to get it in Louisiana, or did you have it sent to you?
I had it. Well, originally they said I can go through the process.
Okay.
And that took a day, and then once they get all my information and I send them a copy of my license and all of that stuff, they said it's going to take 50 days.
50?
Yep. So I didn't have 50 days. Because I was trying to get my passport before the year was ended.
Where were you going?
Well, we were supposed to go on a cruise in January, but it didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
But so I was trying to get all of that stuff done before then. So I just ended up calling my uncle down there, and he had a friend that worked in that department.
Really?
And I just told him I needed my long form. Could he just go pick it up for me? And he went and picked it up and overnighted it to me. So
look at you. I've got friends in low.
But otherwise,
place.
I would have had to wait 50 days, up to 50 days.
Damn. I wouldn't have waited that long.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. You know, we used to wait that long to get a driver's license in New York.
Oh, really?
Oh, man, it was crazy. You in New York City, even to get a learner's permit or just a regular ID, New York City, again, a town with 8 million people. You go to the DMV, by the way, you have to actually take a vacation day in order to sit through DMV.
Yep.
You sit there in the DMV, you get there at 7 o'clock in the morning to only enter at 8, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. You're there until 5 o'clock in the morning with all the places you have to go. Then they send all your information to Albany, which that goes through that bureaucracy. And maybe, if you're lucky, 7 weeks later, you get it back.
Wow.
7 weeks later. And guess what? It takes 4 weeks for them to mail you the temporary version of it, which in essence is a piece of paper with your ID info before you get the actual license.
Jeez.
In New York. Yeah, it's insanity. Insanity over there. I'm like, you guys just can't make the ID here. It's like, nope, it's got to go to Albany and get the right stamps. Yeah, of course, they didn't want me to vote.
Yeah.
That's probably why. Okay, let me see if I can take one more. I'll take John in Meriden real quick. What's going on, John?
Hello.
Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. What do you got?
Hey, I wanted to ask you about Epstein. Quick question.
Yep.
We hear all about all of the issues and the awful things that happen to those women. Has anyone ever asked where their parents were?
Ooh. I haven't.
I can't get any answers for that.
I have such an answer for you. You are not going to believe it. And thank you for bringing it up. This is why I love this show. because in the next break, I want to talk about that. Scott Jennings said something amazing on CNN yesterday, and I found evidence that what he said is not only true, but for some odd reason, no one is taking up for him. Do you know what's congressional immunity? Do you know what that is?
Yes. Yeah, it means they get away with everything, yes.
That's right. It means that if you are on the floor of Congress and you are in the midst of debate, no matter what you say, you can never be charged criminally or civilly for it, even if it's a bold-faced lie about anyone. Do you remember?
And they do it all the time.
That's right. Do you remember who was the last person to flat out lie, most famously, to lie on the Senate floor during arguments? In fact, he had made up the claim totally and then bragged about how it worked. Do you remember who it was?
I do not.
Harry Reid. Harry Reid, former Senate Majority Leader, sat on the Senate floor and said Mitt Romney did not pay his taxes, and he had proof of it. And he never had it at all. And it was a bold-faced lie, and Romney should have been able to sue, but he had congressional immunity. That's why he said it.
Yeah, that's, well, you know, even without congressional immunity, that flies all the time. If you've been listening at all to Bondi's hearings,
yeah,
there were an amazing amount of slanderous, nasty, bold-faced lies there.
Absolutely. And when we come back, I'm going to play that for you. I'm going to play Scott Jennings, and I'm going to play the Harry Reid piece as well. So stand by for that. And it's great timing to bring that up.
One thing, I'm living in Florida now, but I listen to you every day.
Oh, thank you, man. Goodness gracious. Maybe we should be syndicated.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Have a great one.
Thanks, buddy.
You got it. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views, and more on this Epstein thing when we return. It's Reese On The Radio.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full-pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again, guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound, the first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
It's 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We'll check the WTIC Weather Center forecast coming up. The surge in Minnesota is over. Border czar Tom Homan says the detail is coming to an end and has been a success. Thousands were arrested and 3 people were killed in the detail that began back in December. Woman's facing charges after South Windsor police say she swiped bank cards and credit cards in several break-ins in town. Kimberly Main of New York State is charged. She's also facing similar charges in Massachusetts and in Florida. No injuries in a school bus crash this morning in Watertown. Officials say the bus was rear-ended on Guernsey Town Road as it was stopped for traffic. There were 10 kids on board at the time. Comes a day after a school bus crash in Southbury involving an alleged impaired driver. School in Oxford will remain closed for the rest of this week. Frozen pipes and heating issues at Quaker Farms School led to the closure. The frigid temps played a part in the problems, according to officials. Investigators are pleading with people to share home surveillance camera footage from specific dates leading up to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie as they deal with thousands of tips in their hope to crack the case. The 84-year-old mother of Today host Savannah Guthrie has been missing from her Tucson area home since February 1st. Federal judge has temporarily blocked the Pentagon from punishing Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, the former U.S. Navy pilot, for participating in a video that called on troops to resist unlawful orders. WTIC News Time 3:31. Here's the forecast.
We'll keep a few clouds around as it stays breezy. We're falling from the mid-30s, so tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 11. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high of 37. Tomorrow night, though, we'll add the clouds back in, and we'll have some snow showers, even a few flurries possible, with little to no accumulation, but do watch for slippery spots, a low of 14. Saturday, a couple flurries possible in the morning, otherwise sun and clouds, and a high of 42. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
It's been a down day for the markets. The Dow's down 496 points. NASDAQ's down over 450, and the S&P's down 95. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
1 in 5 U.S. consumers say they use AI every day. Morgan Stanley surveyed 2,000 U.S. consumers, with 3 in 4 saying they use AI for personal purposes, and nearly as many said they use AI at work. Morgan Stanley says personal use of AI mostly revolves around searching for information and problem solving, with 2 out of 3 people saying they use AI for writing and editing text. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Last month, my business cash flow got tight. Sales were slow. Invoices were late. And payroll was coming fast. My business is everything, and people rely on me. I can't let them down. I applied online at lenseek.com and had business funding in 24 hours.
Business moves fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Whether it's lines of credit, term loans, working capital funding, or revenue-based financing, LendSeek is open for business. Apply now at LENDSEEK.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit, 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for: their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, "Have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner." Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
Thank you. And the haters are in the building. Thank you, haters. Always love it when you're here. Y'all never show up on time. Oh, that applause was horrible. You never show up on time. Please, haters, show up on time. I got Steve L., who's always here. He shows up. He goes, "It's good hearing Chris on the show again. It's refreshing hearing someone who actually has a clue what music is. Anyone familiar with Fate's Warning knows what's up. Maybe he could educate Reese." Are you familiar with the band he's talking about?
Yeah, I mentioned that band the last time I was
here.
The
last time you were here. You made a big deal out of them.
Band,
yeah.
Progressive heavy metal. So
yeah, progressive heavy metal.
I'll play you some stuff later.
Okay, I told Steve, I said, "Why are you always hating and here?" For someone who seems to hate the host, you keep coming back. Should I be flattered? I don't know. I don't know if I should be flattered, but thank you, Steve. I always appreciate you. And thank you for loving or at least appreciating my guest and my good friend, Chris B., for being here. Let me read this to you real quick. Article 1, Section 6, Clause 1 of the U.S. Constitution. They shall, in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of the peace, be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses, and in going to and returning from the same, and for any speech or debate in either house, they shall not be questioned in any other place. And that is the speech clause or the debate clause. Article 1, Section 6, Clause 1 of the U.S. Constitution. And it was famous because it was Harry Reid who said that Mitt Romney doesn't pay taxes.
So the word's out that he hasn't paid any taxes for 10 years. Let him prove that he has paid taxes, because he hasn't. We already know from one partial tax return that he gave us, he has money hidden in Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, and a Swiss bank account.
So he was allowed to say that, and he was asked on CNN about that. Everybody knew he lied. And what did Harry Reid say when he was challenged on it and the lies he told in that same speech about the Koch brothers? Here's what he told, I think it was Dana Bash.
So no regrets about Mitt Romney, about the Koch brothers. Some people have even called it McCarthyite.
Well, they call it whatever they want. Romney didn't win, did he?
Yeah, Romney didn't win. Why should anybody care? They could call it whatever they want. And you know what? Why not? It was a dirty trick, but he had the right to do it. Which is why I bring this up, because Scott Jennings and CNN and MS Now and everybody else is screaming and hollering. Even people who listen to this show, the Epstein files, why don't they release them? Why won't they tell everybody? Well, there's a reason for that. But before we get to that, I want to play what Scott Jennings said on CNN. But I want you to listen to the host and what she says when Scott Jennings makes this revelation about Article 1, Section 6, Clause 1.
Down to the House floor more, or go out into the public domain and say, here are the men who need to be investigated. That's where I think most Americans are. Why can't we just skip to the part where the people who have the information say out loud, this person did this thing?
That's a good point. Congress can go out there. They've seen the documents. They know who's there. The stuff's been unredacted. They have the names. But won't go down to the Senate floor and say their names. And the crazy part about it is, again, people like this host, this woman, Katie Hunt, whatever her name is from CNN, she's one of those people too. She was just screaming during the segment, talking about what type of crap is this? We should know everything. We should know everything. And here's Scott Jennings saying, you know what? These people have immunity. They can get down to the floor and name the people who've done this stuff wrong, but listen to her.
To me, and this is a crime.
Well, in a lot of cases, they're not allowed to because...
See? Well, in a lot of cases, they're not allowed to say anything. So my question is, do they want to reveal the people who've done it, or do they not? I don't think they do. Here's what they want, and you all know it. They only want one name revealed, and that's Trump's. They can make all the excuses in the world, but they can't. Here's Scott Jennings from the beginning again. Listen to the whole thing.
Members of Congress can go down to the House floor and say anything they want.
Well,
and there are members of Congress who have claimed, Ro Khanna is one, Thomas Massey is one, they have claimed to have names. And I don't know why we're not actually seeing that right now, to be honest.
I don't know. And again, they are protected by the Constitution to say it. They should go out there and say it. But here's the part. Here's the ugly part. So if you watched the hearings with Pam Bondi yesterday, you may have noticed that there were women in the background. Some of them even stood up. They were asked to stand up. And these people in the back are victims, allegedly, of Jeffrey Epstein. But some eagle-eyed reporter noticed something. And these people, by the way, are the most vocal. These are the people who show up at all the hearings. These are the people who were featured in the Super Bowl ad that aired about Jeffrey Epstein. And they all openly talk about the abuse that they suffered under Jeffrey Epstein. But just one thing never comes out. Sure, the year that the abuse comes out, yeah, they bring that up all the time. Some of them, 2001. Some of them, 2002. Some of them, 2000. Little more than 20 years ago. Still one small problem. Turns out that each of those women who were at their hearing standing behind Pam Bondi, who was supposed to be there for the Democrats, were above the age of 20 during the times of the abuse. Now, it isn't to say that the abuse was wrong, that because they were of age, that this quoted discounts. If they were abused, they were abused. It doesn't matter what age it was. But it is interesting that no one mentions that. It is interesting because, again, this is about crimes that individuals were involved in that involved underage children, and yet they have the names and they won't come out there and say them. Or the other side of this is that these women are documented victims who say that they were trafficked, who say that they were abused, and they know who their abusers are, but yet will not reveal the names either? Out of fear of what? Of retribution? See, the thing you're not supposed to talk about, and this is the problem here, you're not supposed to talk about it, is why is that? You're not supposed to ask the question. And I keep asking myself, why not? Everyone says that they want the truth. The scary part about this is that it always seems to be this isolation of what is truth. It's this, that, it's the third. It might be this. We can only talk about that. There are these parameters. Can't go here, can't go there. And Scott Jennings brings it out. Look, these people say that they have the names. And again, they have the immunity to do so. They are Congress. They do care about these victims. They wish to get this out. What's stopping them? And look, White Mike calls up here all the time. He's called up here a couple of times this week, and he said it. And again, love him or hate him, White Mike is 100% over the mark here. A lot of these people can't say anything. Oh, they can come right up to the line and talk all the mess in the world. Yeah, they don't care. They're never going to reveal. They're hiding something. And then they go, come on, go out there and just tell everybody. And then they go, well, because they're frauds. Because they're frauds. There's also that other thing. It was like, we don't care who it was. If they were down, if they did anything, I want them under the jail. Okay, good. You have immunity to reveal who it was. Tell us. Well, you're not supposed to say that. And that's why I see these people who get into the chat rooms and always want to scream and holler about Epstein this and Epstein that. And they're like, I don't care. I'm like, okay, really? Get your representative to do it. Guess what? Every one of your favorite representatives can do it. Where's Maxine Waters? Can't she reveal it? She's got a loud mouth. Where is she? What about Hakeem Jeffries? That's your boy from Brooklyn. That's Timu Obama. He can't seem to stop talking about the Epstein files. Why can't he get down here? He's probably one of the most popular Democrats there is. Where's Chucky Schumer? Hell, where's AOC? I mean, they are all vying. I mean, especially AOC. They're vying to win 2026, if not 2028. I mean, if you really want to do some damage, if you really want to do some damage to a party and you think it's the Republicans, boy, imagine all of the credibility you can run with, fundraise off of. If you just go down to that Senate floor and you just say, he did it, and he did it, and he did it, and, oh, she did it? Yeah, that's the other thing. If you have been paying attention, it has been revealed that there are plenty of women involved as well. That's right, folks. You thought it was just Ghislaine Maxwell. But if you've been paying attention, and I know you haven't, there's a dirty secret that there were men and women involved. And from what we're revealing, some of the people who are calling themselves victims were involved. There's a little known story in all of this, and I'll tell you briefly. It's that Jeffrey Epstein was a cunning son of a gun. And in order to keep people from talking, he got them involved in his little shenanigans, which made them guilty of the same crime. Well, what do you expect out of 3 million documents? What do you think it was going to be cut and dry? 3 million documents, there's a lot of twists and turns. Now, it wasn't like I didn't tell you a long time ago as you people tried to inundate me with the whole Epstein this. You don't want to talk about it, Reese. You don't want me to talk about the Epstein files, but I told you that. I warned you then, and I keep warning you. You don't want me to talk about it because I told you, take your time, relax, and all will reveal itself. And when it does, you'll be running for the hills, which is exactly what all of you have done. Now, I know a lot of you think you're bold. No, I want to know. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because what's been revealed already, you won't touch. There is so much dirt. There's so much going on behind the scenes. It's not just the creepy sex stuff. There's a lot of other stuff that's going on that you don't even want to look at, that you have actually sort of shielded yourself from, pretending it's not there, but it's there, and it's ugly, and it really exposes exactly the world that you're living in. And guess what, folks? Truth be told, you're finally realizing that everything you've ever known about it is not real. It's like waking up out of the Matrix, and you're Neo. Hell, in some ways, I'm Neo, because I got to read this stuff too. And some of this stuff I can't unsee. And some of this stuff I got to go, no. I don't even want to read that. Moving on. So you guys talk a good game. But guess what? You were warned. You open up this can of worms, there are worms everywhere. Oh, and trust me, they are hungry. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio.
President Trump said, "I like Newsmax. You like it too." It's true. Millions of Americans agree with President Trump, and they're switching to Newsmax for the news they can trust. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com for immediate access. Get all of President Trump's most important events live. Imagine watching Mike Huckabee's Israel special, our Melania documentary, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Kirk specials, even the movie Jesus of Nazareth by Franco Zeffirelli. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. So try it for free. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com, then download the app. It's easy. So make the switch to Newsmax Plus today.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Herbie Fisher. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back, and let me see. In the next hour, what do I have? Oh, yes, we have to get into it. We will break down the Negro drivers. Now, you're saying to yourself, what the heck does that mean, Reese? Well, if you looked it up, it does not mean Morgan Freeman and driving Miss Daisy. It's not that. It is so different from that. And it's something I knew was out there. I felt it. And I started researching it today, and then Roseanne started researching it today, and then we found all of this information about it, and it's so interesting in our political sphere today. So I'm going to lay that out in a little bit. So stand by for that real quick after, of course, the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Also, we've got Negro Nonsense coming up, as well as music news, which I'm going to have a debate with Chris B. here about, because it's a great story that came out of the New York Post today that involves Gene Simmons. And I think it's worth of a conversation. So some of you music folks will probably want to get into this conversation at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Speaking of out of state, Mr. Ralph is in South Carolina. How are you, sir?
Good, Reese. Couple things. First of all, Reese, did the Democrats control the House, the Senate, and the presidency And they could have released all the Epstein files?
Absolutely. They could have released all of them, even to stop Donald Trump, because they pulled out all the stops that they could in 2024. And for some odd reason, that wasn't part of the treasure trove of things to put an end to him.
Well, that should tell anybody with half a brain that there was nothing there, but there was stuff there about some Democrats. But the main reason I called, Reese, was they talk about obviously having have a ID for voting.
Yeah.
Now, all those people they claim have been denied voting because of IDs.
Mm-hmm.
Those same people cannot get on an airplane, can they?
Nope, absolutely not.
They cannot go to a liquor store. They cannot buy liquor, can they?
Nope, absolutely not.
They cannot go into a restaurant and have a drink with their dinner, can they?
Absolutely not. Not if they can't provide an ID.
They cannot buy a cell phone. My son just got a new cell phone. He had to show his ID to get his cell phone.
Really? Now that I didn't know.
Yes, that's a fact. So all this stuff that, they're talking about.
Hey, go one step further. How about this one? Try this on for size. They claim that the people who definitely would be affected are the poor folks. So my question is, I would assume those poor folks are on some form of assistance provided by the federal, if not state government, right?
And they would need an ID.
Yes, they would. So if they can't even provide that for their basic needs like food, water, what do you call it, Medicaid for, if they get sick. I mean, all of these things are going to require them to be able to identify themselves so they can receive these benefits. You would imagine photo ID had to be in their, past in order to get that.
The bottom line, Reese, is the Democrats do not want to have only citizens voting. They have to have everybody who is not a citizen vote, because they know that 99% of those people will vote for Democrats.
Yep.
And in my mind, what they have to do, like I'm here in South Carolina, when I go vote, I need to show my ID. Every state should have the same thing and just prove that you're a citizen and that you are eligible to vote. If you don't have that, you can't vote.
Well, what I'm hoping, here's what I'm hoping, and I think it'll happen in Connecticut, and it's going to be kind of confusing. Actually, I got to talk about it later. Ralph, let me go. I got to get to some weather and traffic, buddy, but I appreciate you.
Have a great night, Reese.
Thank you, man. You too. Let's get to that. Traffic and weather's coming up. Tom O'Hanlon is here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center for Mark Christopher.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. On 84 westbound, it's still offering you a good ride, moving nicely past Route 2 and across the river into Hartford. Eastbound on 84 is still looking good, crossing through West Hartford, and then we have some stop and go with just traffic volume through Parkville and Frog Hollow. Into downtown Hartford, not bad. Route 2's okay, 3 is moving. 91 southbound stop and go from North Meadows to 84. Northbound it's good, and 291's doing fine. Now a note on 91 southbound, we're slow as you're working your way down into New Haven just at the tail end. But on the northbound side, we have a crash in Wallingford near exit 15 Barnes Road, and the traffic volume continues to build. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
A few passing clouds for us on a swift breeze, and as we go through tonight, we stay partly cloudy with a low of 11. Tomorrow is mostly sunny and a bright, beautiful finish for our work week with a high near 37. Tomorrow night, though, the clouds come back in and there'll be a passing snow shower or at least a few flurries late. There'll be little to no accumulation for that, but where we do get a little accumulation, just watch out for some slippery spots. A low of 14. Heading into Saturday, Valentine's Day, it's a couple of flurries for us in the morning. Otherwise, sun and clouds for the afternoon and a high of 42. Sunday will be partly sunny with a high of 38. As we go into Sunday night, do watch. There could be some snow flurries around, but overall fairly quiet for us heading into President's Day, which is mostly cloudy with a chance for a rain or snow shower and a high near 40. As we head into the early week next week, we will find those temperatures staying a little warmer in the mid-40s. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 4 o'clock. Hartford temperature 32 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. As you heard in the weather, we'll keep the sunshine for the balance of the afternoon, and the temps in the 30s. A second bus crash involving a school bus in Connecticut. In Watertown this morning, officials say a school bus carrying 10 children was rear-ended on Guernsey Town Road by another vehicle. Bus was stopped for traffic at the time. No injuries were reported. Investigators are trying to determine if sun glare played a factor. This crash occurred just a day after a school bus crash in Southbury left several children injured, including two who were ejected from the vehicle. None of the injuries was considered life-threatening. 65-year-old man is charged with DUI in the Southbury crash. Hartford man gets 15 years behind bars for robbing victims he met on Facebook Marketplace at gunpoint. Here's Dave Maker.
Federal prosecutors say 34-year-old Frederick Wright would advertise a car for sale online, meet with buyers, and negotiate a price. When the buyer produced cash for the transaction, Wright would rob them at gunpoint. There were at least 5 victims in Windsor and Bloomfield. Wright was previously convicted on state charges of attempted robbery and was on special parole at the time of the robberies in 2020. U.S. Attorney David Sullivan encourages those who sell or buy items online to use a visible, monitored location if meeting with the other party. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080
Trump
News.
administration has rolled back findings meant to combat climate change. More from correspondent Linda Kenyon.
The 2009 endangerment finding determined carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases endanger public health. President Trump disagreed.
Fossil fuels have saved millions of lives and lifted billions of people out of poverty.
The president also said his action would drive down prices.
This action will save American consumers trillions of dollars and will lower the average cost of a new vehicle by close to $3,000.
As for concerns about what the rollback might mean for public health,
I tell them don't worry about it because it has nothing to do with public health.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Search continues for Nancy Guthrie, who disappeared nearly 2 weeks ago. And correspondent Andres Gutierrez reports the family has released another video.
Savannah Guthrie has posted yet another Instagram clip in which there is a caption that says, "Our lovely mom, we will never give up on her. Thank you for your prayers and hope," and some home videos of Nancy with her kids there. Beautiful moments.
Reaction continues to come in following the death Wednesday of actor and Cheshire native James Van Der Beek, star of the 90s show Dawson's Creek.
I know I have this incredibly perfect life, and I completely underappreciate it.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sorry I was such an insensitive male. Thought I was above it.
It premiered in 1998, just a few years after Van Der Beek graduated from Cheshire Academy. Longtime school fundraiser Barbara Vestergaard says he was dedicated to his craft from a young age and always gave back to the school.
He was a good guy. You know, he kept in touch with us. He would come back and do fundraisers for us. He spoke, during the pandemic, so he did a video for that class for their graduation. And, that was a hard time, and he stepped up and helped with that.
Van Der Beek was diagnosed with colorectal cancer nearly 3 years ago. He leaves behind a wife and 6 children. Well, a sour note on one of the sweetest holidays could be for some chocolate shop owners like Mark Lazar on Long Island. He says because of tariffs.
Anything that comes from overseas in some way or another is affected. Makes buying more difficult. It makes pricing your products more difficult.
Says it's one of the most important days of the year for his shop. Wall Street, the Dow down over 600 points. NASDAQ down over 460. S&P down 108. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, Eric Hogarth with Money Wisdom. This week we tackle what makes the risk of outliving your money so real in today's financial landscape and what you can do about it. Tune into Money Wisdom on TIC News Talk 1080.
Columbia Dental has great care close to home. Our state-of-the-art network connects all 12 Connecticut locations, making appointments easy. Plus, our Waterbury office now offers a prosthodontist for specialized care. Schedule your appointment today, 860-645-0111.
UConn's Silas Demery Jr. knows what it takes to win on offense and defense.
Winning isn't luck. It's hustle, discipline, and showing up every day.
That mindset drives BPS lawyers too, fighting for clients in personal injury, family law, litigation, and more.
I'm Nick Payne-Dearest. At BPS Lawyers, we're one full-service firm. All your legal needs, always.
BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Okay, stand by. Very, very soon we're going to do Negro nonsense. I know you love it when we do that. So we'll do that. I heard someone sent me another great story about Negro nonsense, and it has turned into an earworm, as it were. No, you're not listening to me. It's okay. No, someone sent me a message about Negro nonsense saying that they were singing it when they were going to bed. They said it's an earworm. So I said, I love the fact that people sing it when they go to bed or just whenever they're doing their chores. It means everything to me that they do it. So we'll do that up in a second. Stand by for that. And this one's a good one. This one's from the New York Post over the weekend. We'll get that done as well. Also coming up, we'll talk about black drivers, or as they were referred to in the 1800s, Negro drivers. What are they, and how do they apply today? Well, I don't know why, but history has a tendency to repeat itself, and we did a whole bunch of research on it this morning, and we'll have that for you, and it is amazing what we learned about that. Also, I've got I've got EV news that also is important because of what the Ford CEO has finally admitted. And it has everything to do with you. Plus, we're going to have a debate. It is a music news debate between myself and Chris B. about a story in the New York Post that involves Gene Simmons of the super group or rock group KISS, an article that he wrote. So we'll talk to him, Chris B., about that. He's hanging out with us today. And we'll talk about a whole bunch of other things as well. Peter says, I think the real reason they don't want voter ID is because once we do that, the total numbers of votes cast for Democrats will be significantly lower, suggesting years of fraud and abuse. They'll claim the lower numbers prove voter suppression. They are laying the groundwork for that right now. It's a great point. That is, and again, it's the fact is that I would make that claim if I were a Democrat, without all the nonsense about women who can't change their birth certificate nonsense. I wouldn't have thrown any of that in the game. I wouldn't have done the whole black people in rural areas will not be able to get a driver's license. I wouldn't have muddied the waters with all of that ridiculousness. But they did. So now the voter suppression thing has no weight. Calling it things like Jim Crow 2.0, looking for catchphrases. Those things mean nothing now. That's why nobody's going to care. But anyway, we'll get to Negro nonsense when we return. Let's get to another check of traffic and weather. Tom O'Hanlon is in for Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. 84 is still in pretty good shape if you're going westbound. Seeing a little bit more action into Hartford now as you're approaching the river and feeding into downtown. On the eastbound side through West Hartford, not too bad. We do have some traffic in Parkville and Frog Hollow. 2 is all right westbound as you're feeding up into 84. 3 is moving, and 91 stop and go heading southbound from North Meadows down into 84. On 91, we're okay up into 291, and also on 91 on the northbound side, we have that crash in Wallingford near exit 15, Barnes Road, Route 68. The northbound backups look slightly better, but we still have plenty of traffic. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by NJM Insurance Group.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than getting stuck in an elevator with an overshare,
bean burrito for lunch.
You have Insuranoia. You should have NJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
WTIC weather.
A little breezy as we go into the overnight hours tonight, but it's partly cloudy with a low of 11. Will be mostly sunny, though, tomorrow, so it's a bright Friday for us and a high of 37. Tomorrow night, though, the clouds roll back in. Could be a snow shower, a few passing flurries, little to no accumulation with that. Do watch, though, for a couple of slippery spots possible, a low of 14. Saturday, a couple of flurries possible through the morning. Otherwise, sunshine and clouds for the afternoon. For Valentine's Day, we make it to a high of 42. Sunday is partly sunny, a high of 38. And Monday, President's Day, mostly cloudy with a chance for a rain or snow shower and high of 40. Right now it's 35 in Bloomfield, 34 in New Britain, 33 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Looking to retire with confidence? Get the answers you need. Tune in to Wall Street Sweeper with Russ Hackman. Sunday mornings at 9:30 on NewsTalk WTIC AM. Strategies, insights, and smart retirement talk. Don't miss it.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full-pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
This Negro Nonsense is brought to you by Negro Nonsense, a company by the name of Burdell. Well, it's actually a restaurant. It's the acclaimed Oakland soul food restaurant. It was recently named America's Best Food and Wine in 2025 and a Michelin Guide standout. And it sparked widespread outrage after customers discovered a note on receipts explaining an automatic 20% gratuity charge as a way to move beyond the ugly past of tipping customers rooted in unpaid labor. The message printed on the bottom of every check reads, quote, "Tipping in the U.S. has an ugly past, allowing the continuation of unpaid labor. We don't like that history. Included in your check is a 20% service charge, which we use to pay hourly staff a consistent and livable wage. Not dependent on archaic tipping, customers, or chance. No need to add anything else. Thank you." A now deleted viral Reddit post in the End Tipping subreddit shared a photo of the receipt, drawing over 28,000 upvotes and igniting backlash. Critics flooded Yelp with one-star reviews, many accusing the restaurant of pushing a woke agenda, failing to disclose the fee up front, though it noted it on the menu, or injecting politics into dining. Some called for boycotts, labeled the policy performative, and attacked the food and service in unrelated complaints. Others accused it of virtue signaling or alienating customers amid broader frustrations with fees, DEI initiatives, and cultural debates. Chef owner Jeff Davis defended the policy in interviews and on Instagram, emphasizing transparency and equity. He has long argued that tipping perpetuates inequality, tracing its American origins to post-slavery exploitation of black workers and describing it as a barrier to fair pay. It is, quote, something that we need to do away with as a country. Honestly, ending tipping is part of our healing from slavery, he says, and continued racism. That is the insanity. What are you doing? Are you looking it up? Of course she is. Roseanne is at it. That's your Negro nonsense. Now, hold on, folks. I don't want to lose you. What did you have? Hold on. Okay, in the middle. Okay, well, I'm sure it did. Anyway, that's not important. This is important. So I asked you folks if you knew what black drivers were or Negro drivers were. And what they are or what they were is very significant. Let me explain. Black drivers, sometimes called Negro drivers, were black overseers. Sometimes they were called just drivers. They were enslaved black men, almost always men. Through rare exceptions, women existed, but who were put in charge of supervising gangs of field slaves. They were the top boss. That was usually a white observer of the plantation owner. But on large plantations, think 50-plus slaves, common for cotton, rice, and sugar, in places like South Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi, drivers handled the day-to-day grind in fields. Their job? Directing labor, leading work gangs from sunup to sundown, plowing, hoeing, picking cotton, harvesting rice or cane, enforcing quotas, making sure that everyone hit their daily targets, picking 200 to 400 pounds of cotton per person, discipline and punishment, carrying a whip, often bull whips or cowhides, and using it on slaves who fell behind or shirked their responsibilities if they talked back or broke the rules. Whoopings could be brutal. Lacerations, scars for life, sometimes 50 to 100 lashes. Drivers reported to the white overseer every evening. Other duties were overseeing tools, distributing food rations, sometimes handling minor medical stuff, or even leading prayers, hymns to keep morale and obedience up. The setup was most common in the late 1700s through the antebellum peak, the 1820s and 1860s, especially on absentee-owned plantations where the white owner lived elsewhere. Common in white rice swamp areas due to disease. Laws sometimes required white overseers, but planters shirked them by elevating trusted black drivers, cheaper and more reliable since drivers knew the land, crops, and the people intimately. Why did white owners use these black drivers? Pure strategy. Classic divide and conquer. Shifted the ugliest brutality of white hands. A white overseer might order punishment, but the driver delivered it, easing the owner's conscience or reducing direct resentment towards white. They broke solidarity among slaves, keeping a hierarchy within the enslaved community, making organized resistance harder. Practical. It was practical because drivers were often stronger in body and mind, selected for physical strength, intelligence, reliability, leadership. They worked in fields themselves growing up, so they understood pacing and tricks slaves used to slow down. They were also cost-effective. No salary or for a driver, just minor privileges like hiring white observers who were more expensive or drunken or unreliable. It was easier to hire the Negro driver because he took, food and other things. Historians like Eugene Genovese and William Vanderburg, in their book, The Slave Drivers, they nailed this. It wasn't about elevating blacks out of kindness. It was control. Drivers were still property, could be whipped, sold, or demoted at any whim. They also got privileges like better housing, extra food, a horse or a mule to ride while overseeing. Sometimes their family got lighter work or protection. Authority that gave a share of status. Now, folks, I went and looked this up, and I said, can we equate who the Negro drivers would be today who would fit this bill? And I got a list. Black supervisors, a.k.a. foremen, were often called the whipping boss due to their ability to wield discipline. Black men, sometimes women, 30 to 40 years of age, occasionally older, chosen for intelligence, physical presence, management skills, leadership abilities. Who today would fall under these categories? Let's start with people like Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah, he's on the list. Or more recent, Hakeem Jeffries. Historical figures like those endorsing moderate white candidates for progressive black ones, accused of protecting status quo of white supremacy under liberal democratic guises. This according to the Hampton Institute in 2020. How about Ibram X. Kendi or Nicole Hannah Jones? Both of these people wrote Anti-Racism and the 1619 Project. They write here, elite black intellectuals who critique white racism but operate within liberal institutions, e.g., universities and major media, like Nicole Hannah Jones's 1619 Project, which was inside the New York Times, a white-dominated institution. Critics argue they seek inclusion in white-dominated systems rather than black nationalism or separation. But the piece de resistance of the black driver, they say that this individual embodied integrationist politics and alliances with white liberal elites. Some view him as proof of black advancement, requiring white approval and liberal frameworks, not independent black power like Malcolm X inspired. That person is none other than Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, yes, baby. Yes, black liberals are nothing more than the Negro drivers. You dare step off the plantation, and the white man will send the Negro driver out to whip you. Get back here, boy! Don't you get off that plantation, boss! He trying to leave. He trying to run. He trying to run. Go get him, boy. Go hunt him down. Bring him back here. Don't you let him escape. He can't have his freedom. I know. Sounds harsh, but I don't care. But I've been telling you this for the longest. I've been telling you this forever. I've heard these knuckleheads scream and holler all day, every day. Sell out, sell out. We know who the sellouts are. All I had to do was look it up. Negro drivers aligned with identifying with their white masters and sought to further his interests. And that's who they are. Look at them. Who's Barack Obama serving? Come on. Ain't Barack Obama supporting everything in the liberal agenda? This Negro had the audacity to tell the brothers how to act. Whoopsh. You better vote for Kamala Harris. Whoopsh. You better get your black behind in line. Whoopsh. You better support that black woman. She like you. Whoopsh. Year later. Could you guys support Abigail Spanberger? Yes. No, I know what I said last year about the black woman, but Abigail's good. She's a good white lady. It'd be nice if you make her the governor of Virginia. Absolutely. Yeah, but support one of your own. No. Well, don't go nuts. Okay, Winsome Sears. No. She's not really black. She's Jamaican. Yeah. She's Jamaican. That's not black. Negro drivers. I just want to let you know, because I know you're going to be there in the chat room. I know you're going to be here writing letters to my bosses and all that stuff. Can you believe what that boy said? Yeah. Go run tell Whitey. Go run and tell him. You hurry up there. You find every white man and white woman you can, and you go run tell. I want you to. I want to see you do it. I want to read all the emails. I want to hear you saying, Did you hear what he said, Massa? Did you hear what he said on the radio, Massa? You can't go. You can't go for that, Massa. He disobeying. He ain't falling in line. Oh, I know. But don't worry about it, kids. I will not be giving speeches at the Audubon in Harlem. And I won't be standing on the balcony at the Lorraine Motel anytime soon, if you catch my drift. Know what I mean? Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. So all that complaining, that's laughed at. It's okay. You run tell Massa. Okay? You hurry up now. You tell him what I done did. Go get him, boy. Oh, yes. Sorry. I got to go. Let's take a break. When we come back, more news, more views. I want to talk about this SUV thing when we return. Yes, the SUV is over. Ford told us so. Remember that whole Lightning thing? It's a joke. It's a clown. They lost billions. We'll break all that down to you when we return. Of course, by the way, if any of you want to, call up, you can, okay? And, just it's 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Or you can send me a really, really mean message about how I'm stepping out of line at reachonthe.radio.com. Holla!
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. On 84 westbound, there's that traffic we know from Route 2 over to the river and across into Hartford. And as we're going up Route 2, the traffic volume is starting to build. On the eastbound side of 84, really not bad. Through West Hartford, you're pretty good. Now, we do see some traffic getting up into Parkville and Frog Hollow and feeding into downtown Hartford. Now, if you're coming down 91 through the area right around Windsor, we've got some traffic volume. And on the northbound side of 91 up into 84, we're in pretty good shape. On Route 3, we're moving along pretty well. 91 southbound gets you to New Haven. On the northbound side of 91, some good news. Looks like they got rid of that crash in Wallingford near exit 15, Barnes Road, Route 68. It's getting a lot better. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
A few passing clouds for us on a swift breeze, and as we go through tonight, we stay partly cloudy with a low of 11. Tomorrow is mostly sunny and a bright, beautiful finish for our work week with a high near 37. Tomorrow night, though, the clouds come back in and there'll be a passing snow shower or at least a few flurries late. There'll be little to no accumulation for that, but where we do get a little accumulation, just watch out for some slippery spots. A low of 14. Heading into Saturday, Valentine's Day, it's a couple of flurries for us in the morning. Otherwise, sun and clouds for the afternoon and a high of 42. Sunday will be partly sunny with a high of 38. As we go into Sunday night, do watch. There could be some snow flurries around, but overall fairly quiet for us heading into President's Day, which is mostly cloudy with a chance for a rain or snow shower and a high near 40. As we head into the early week next week, we will find those temperatures staying a little warmer in the mid-40s. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
History. What you know about Black history?
Odyssey Harper celebrates Black History Month
Let me refresh your memory.
by honoring icons of excellence.
Carter G. Woodson launched the national effort to teach Black history in America. It's also been 50 years since this observance was formally recognized at the federal level. honoring Woodson's belief that Black history is central to all American stories. Today, this vision lies on as this history is woven into our schools, our homes, and our culture, helping us all appreciate our shared national identity.
History. What you know about Black history?
Odyssey Harper celebrates Black History Month
Let me refresh your memory.
by honoring icons of excellence.
Brought to you with pride by Goodwin University.
And now, a WTIC news update.
33 degrees at 4:30. I'm John Silva. The EPA has revoked a key scientific finding that supported U.S. regulations on greenhouse gas emissions. President Trump making the announcement today at the White House rescinds a 2009 declaration that carbon dioxide and other gases endanger public health. A couple of school bus crashes in the last 2 days. One this morning in Watertown. Bus rear-ended by another vehicle on Guernsey Town Road. Bus had 10 kids on board. None were injured. And that comes a day after a man accused of driving under the influence struck a school bus in Southbury. Several children were seriously injured, although none of the injuries was considered life-threatening. Investigators are pleading with people to share home surveillance camera footage from specific dates leading up to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie as they deal with thousands of tips in their hope to crack the case. The 84-year-old mother of Today host Savannah Guthrie has been missing from her Tucson area home since February 1st. South Windsor police have arrested a New York State woman, charging her with breaking into several vehicles in town and using a stolen bank card to withdraw tens of thousands of dollars. 54-year-old Kimberly Main faces similar charges in Massachusetts and in Florida. Bond has been increased from $1 million to $2 million, including attempted murder charges for a 33-year-old Bridgeport resident, João Victor Borges. He's accused of attempting to kill his ex-wife. He was arrested on Christmas Eve last year while trying to flee to Canada. Federal judges blocked the Pentagon from punishing Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, the former U.S. Navy pilot, for participating in a video that called on troops to resist unlawful orders. District Court judge ruled that Pentagon officials had violated Kelly's First Amendment free speech rights. The markets had a down day, to say the least. Dow lost 669 points. NASDAQ shed 469, and the S&P was down over 100. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition. It's fully treatable. And at Northeast Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll also likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Northeast Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice.
This year, flavor doesn't walk. It runs wild. At P.F. Chang's, we're charging into the year of the horse with bold new wok-fired dishes like pork belly bao buns and refreshing cocktails like the Midnight Gallop. P.F. Chang's beloved red envelope tradition returns, adding a surprise element to every visit during the Lunar New Year. Each guest receives a red envelope revealing a special offer redeemable on a future visit. Celebrate the Lunar New Year with flavor that runs wild at P.F. Chang's. Valid for dine-in only while supplies last. Details at pfchangs.com.
Hola, amigos! It's a big noise. Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. Listen Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports as we cover the biggest sports stories from coast to coast. Get insights on the NFL playoffs, college basketball conference races, and more. Download the Odyssey app now and listen from anywhere. BetMGM tonight, live and interactive, presented by BetMGM. Tune in, Team Huevos.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I don't know why I didn't forget to. I usually remember to keep that thing off. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Ford CEO who is admitting that the customer has spoken about electric vehicles. And of course, because of the Lee Zeldin and Donald Trump presser that happened a couple of hours ago, or maybe even an hour ago, which in essence is going to get rid of an old Obama-era EPA rule, which is in essence going to release $1.3 trillion into the economy. Lamont is naturally upset about it, so we'll talk about what his comments are. And of course, what's his name? William Tong is ready to sue, which again I can't. You know what's so interesting about this, and we'll talk about this on the other side. But this is the part that I can't seem to understand. So, I think there was a story the other day about. Chris, did you hear about this story about apparently there were all of these people who had been, the Better Business Bureau had found out about all these people who had been swindled out of millions of dollars or something like that in the state. Did you hear anything about that?
What was the scam?
I don't remember what the scam was, but I know there was some scam that was going on that where all of these people, and William Tong was like talking about how he was going to sort of go after the companies who were behind this scam. But the bottom line was, I found out that there were plenty of people who were talking to his office for the longest, saying that this scam was going on, and he ignored it. And why? Because the guy was never, ever, he was just not even asleep at the wheel. He was just away from the car because he was too busy running all of these campaigns against Donald Trump. He's got bragging about 42, 45 lawsuits against the Trump administration, doing nothing in the state of Connecticut while people here in the state are getting ripped off. Also, we got this issue with the sweetheart. What was the name of the apartment building you said you looked at? The Concierge. Of course, we know that place was. I mean, it's falling apart with like pipes bursting all over the place. And this guy is like William Tong out of nowhere. He's like, "Oh, you guys better get your act together." I'm like, "Dude, where were you?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just don't. I don't understand. I just don't. This guy is just such a. It's always the Trump thing that this guy shows up for. The stuff that's local makes no sense. That he's never, ever around. He seems to be late or asleep at the wheel. By the way, have you ever heard this new thing that's emerging about Ned Lamont?
Not sure.
That he's losing his faculties?
I think I've heard something about that thrown around in different forums, but...
Okay, so you have heard this.
I have no way of confirming that.
Yeah, nor do I.
Or diagnosing it for that matter.
Okay. But no, they're saying that, and I don't, let's say, okay, let me rephrase it. Not losing his faculty, that his memory seems to be off a bit.
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
There was something about meeting somebody that was regularly...
Yeah, and trust me when I tell you,
known by name.
This is person who is known. This is a popular person. There's no way you would know this individual, nor Lamont not know them. In fact, here's where it gets crazy, because I was talking to that person again, and they gave me another detail to the story. This is how crazy it was. So the person, and the reason why he thought it was so weird, is that they were together at an event, and this person brought their mother.
Okay.
And Lamont said to the person, "Hey, such and such, you brought your mother." It's like out, like said to him by name, called him out by name. It wasn't like they were introduced. He was in the middle of something. Such and such was in the middle of something else, and pointed out, "Hey, such and such, I see you brought your mom." And then just recently saw him and couldn't remember who he was.
Right. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that from you.
Yeah, it was from me. So it's real. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. In the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center is Tom O'Hanlon.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. 84 is a lot busier now on the westbound side. Going past Route 2 across the river into Hartford, it is solid traffic all through the downtown area. No accidents, just a lot of drivers. And on the eastbound side of 84, we have traffic up into Frog Hollow and then slowing down here and there getting up into Hartford. If you're heading west on Route 2, feeding into 84, we have the traffic there. But southbound on 91 through Windsor, it's a little bit better, but we still have some traffic there. But the northbound side looks great. 291 doesn't have anything going on now. Route 3, just minor delays feeding up into 2. And if you're heading down 91 to New Haven, we're in good shape. On the northbound side of 91, a lot better now. That earlier crash in Wallingford is gone. And traffic volume, not too bad. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, as we head through the rest of tonight, we're partly cloudy with a low of 11 degrees. Heading into tomorrow, it's a beautiful finish to the work week, mostly sunny with a high of 37. Tomorrow night, the clouds roll back in for us, and there could be a passing snow shower, even some flurries. Little to no accumulation expected for that, but do watch for some slippery spots possible where that little accumulation does build up. Low of 14. Saturday, Valentine's Day, a couple of flurries in the morning. Otherwise, though, sun and clouds for the afternoon and a high of 42. And Sunday will be partly sunny, a high of 38. Mostly cloudy as we head into Monday with a chance for a rain or snow shower and a high near 40. Right now, it's 33 in Middletown, 32 in Canton, and 33 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Odyssey Hartford celebrates Black History Month by honoring icons like Alex Haley. Haley spent years tracing his lineage back to a single African man, Kunta Kinte. This journey inspired both his epic book and the landmark television miniseries Roots, earning him a Pulitzer Prize and a National Book Award. Today, Haley is credited with sparking a nationwide interest in genealogy among African Americans. Odyssey Hartford, celebrating Black artists, athletes, and trailblazers all month long. Find more on the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by Albertus Magnus College, where your dreams become reality.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and at newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Celebrate Valentine's Day weekend as the Hartford Symphony and Concert Theater Works present Romeo and Juliet, a theatrical concert. Under the direction of music director Carolyn Kwan, the HSO performs along live actors in costume with dynamic staging and even a sword fight. Witness the greatest love story ever told, alongside musical excerpts from Sergei Prokofiev's original ballet music. February 13th through the 15th at the Bushnell. For tickets, call 860-987-5900 or visit hartfordsymphony.org.
Let's be honest. The hearing aid industry is broken. Overpriced clinics, pushy appointments, bills of $5,000 or more. That's the trap they hope you fall into. Don't let it happen. Audien Hearing is the escape. Their FDA-registered hearing aids cost just a fraction of the big brands, starting at only $98. Instead of paying as much as $5,000 plus all the doctor appointments and wasted time, you get what you need with no prescriptions, no office visits, no time wasted, and no crazy price tag. Call 800-700-HEAR. That's HEAR. Audien's cutting-edge devices are rechargeable, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. Try them risk-free for 45 days with lifetime support and real human help just a phone call away. Over 1 million people have already said yes to Audien Hearing. Join them. Don't let them take advantage of you. Break free from the trap. Call now 800-700-HEAR. That's HEAR for a very special offer. 800-700-HEAR or 800-700-4327.
The NAACP calls him, whoa! I don't think I'm allowed to read this. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's just say some people are not fans. On News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back. Ford CEO admits that the customer has spoken after the EV push drives major quarterly loss. Ford CEO Jim Farley acknowledged that consumer demand has shifted away from large electric vehicles, admitting the customer has spoken following Ford's massive financial hit tied to its EV strategy. During the company's Q4 2025 earnings call on February 10th, Farley stated, quote, "I think the consumer has spoken. That's the punchline." Ford reported a staggering $11.1 billion net loss for the fourth quarter, and worse since 2008. Remember that? And a full year 2025 net loss of $8.2 billion. The EV division, known as Model E, posted a $4.8 billion loss for the year, driven by weak sales of models like the Mustang Mach-E, F-150 Lightning, and the E-Transit, which dropped 14% year over year. Additional pressures include a $19.5 billion write-down on EV programs, which much of it hitting Q4, about $2 billion in tariff-related costs, and disruptions from a fire at an aluminum supplier. The company has already taken steps to realign, including ending production of all-electric Ford F-150 Lightnings, planning to relaunch it as an extended-range electric vehicle with a gas generator, scaling back some larger EV investments. This going along with the Trump administration, who just recently did a press conference. Says here, President Trump and EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin announced the largest deregulatory action in the U.S. history today, ending the EPA's climate change power grab. In this rule, the EPA is saving American taxpayers $1.3 trillion, eliminating both the Obama-era 2009 greenhouse gas endangerment finding and all subsequent federal GHG emission standards for all vehicles and engines of model years 2012 and 2027 and beyond, he said. The announcement, he said that from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The action also eliminates all off-cycle credits, including for the almost universally hated start and stop feature. Chris, are you familiar with the start and stop feature? That's the one where you step on the brake and the car shuts off and then
Yeah, a couple cars in my house have that.
You have that feature?
Yeah.
Was that a feature you purchased for that? Or it just came with it?
It just came with the vehicles.
What do you think of that? It says over here that so many people hate it.
It's kind of annoying because if you're sitting at a light, it'll activate after a couple seconds. The stop sign, it usually won't activate unless you're sitting there for a few seconds. But when you start to go, you start thinking about the horns you're going to hear behind you because it takes a couple seconds to restart and then you can start going. And
because you don't instantly accelerate. It's really slow.
It comes back on and there's a little bit of a hesitation.
Right.
So you're always worried about, especially at a left turn arrow.
Yeah.
That's, those are timed pretty short. So 3 cars back's not going to make it if you're sitting behind someone with that start-stop feature. Yeah.
It's annoying. I never understood why it was implemented other than, is it to save gas? Was that what it was for?
I think it was like the no idling law that came into effect in a lot of states way back when. I think Jody Rell put that into effect in Connecticut some years ago. Like you go to Bradley Airport to pick someone up, big signs, no idling, no idling. Somebody was out there at the beginning of that. Troopers were out there making sure you were not sitting there with your car idling.
Really?
You get a ticket for it.
So you'd have to cut the car off.
Yes.
Yeah. And, of course, if it's cold, it's like a 12 minus. Forget about it. You're going to sit in the cold waiting for somebody to come out of the airport.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
Back then, yeah. So they invented this thing. I don't know the history of it, but at least your heat will still run while the car is shut off. But
exactly.
It's only temporarily shut off. It's not going to drain your battery or anything either.
But I'm so glad that that's no longer a thing because I hear a lot of people hate it. I thought when I first saw it for the first time, I was like, oh, I guess that seems cool. But then I actually rented a car with it.
Yep.
Hated it. I totally got why people hated it right off the bat. Let's go to the phones real quick. I'm going to go with Craig in the car real quick. That's your buddy. And he knows this because in truck sales, I think Craig is in. You understand this more than I would as far as vehicles are concerned, right, Craig?
Yeah, I know a little bit about it.
Okay. Is that what you called about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. So what the government and the EPA did was they actually blew through the stop sign because where the technology is in hybrid technology.
Right.
It's hybrid electric and gas. And they eliminated the potential of doing that in certain states like California by having zero emissions regulations.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say less emissions regulations. It was zero.
Damn.
So they mandated from two different directions. One was by the manufacturer. So the manufacturer, if they were going to sell into California, had to have a certain amount of their sales be zero emissions. Where California went off the rail is they also mandated that fleets, like Amazon, a certain number of their vehicles in their fleet that were purchased also had to be zero emissions. So you're getting hit from both directions.
Damn.
And it actually forced a couple of truck manufacturers out of the country. They just said, no, we're not doing this. And certain engine manufacturers said, it's too expensive. There's no way we can develop that technology. So it was really going to eliminate a lot of options for consumers in California. And thank God that Lee Zeldin has got a head on his shoulders and he's getting rid of this stuff. The stop-start technology, my car has it. You've been in my car.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But I have the luxury of shutting it off. I can
that's right. Well, is it because you have a higher-end vehicle, or is it standard for?
No, just got an extra button that I can just override it, and it doesn't do that.
Is that available on any car? You mean I could have done that on my rental car?
It depends on the car.
I had a Volkswagen.
Yeah, you probably could have.
Okay.
Probably. You may need an engineering degree to figure out how to do it. But, it can be done. And that stop-start technology, that was to reduce emissions while you're idling.
Right.
You're at a stoplight, the car shuts off. The problem with that is it adds extra wear and tear on the vehicle, right?
I would imagine.
Has a shelf life.
That's right.
And the worst thing you can do for an engine is start it. That's the most damaging part of an engine's operation is when you first start it.
Isn't that interesting?
Oil drops down out of the head, and now you got a dry engine, and you got to start it up again and get that oil flowing again. It's only a few seconds. I get it. But over the course of 100,000 miles or 200,000 miles, that's wear and tear on the vehicle.
Yeah, I can imagine. And that's just happening. In essence, if you really think about it, with how many times you start and stop in your daily life, you are probably putting 10, 20, 30 times the amount of start that you would normally put in your vehicle just waking up every morning, starting your car, and going to work.
And that's not if you're an Uber driver.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, that's so true. Yeah. I knew a guy. In fact, I took an Uber. We went to go get our brakes done on the car recently. And this guy was an Uber, picked me up. He was in a Hyundai. And I asked him, I was like, what year is this car? And it was a 2021. So it's only about 5 years old. He had 249,000 miles on her.
Not surprised.
Not surprised. That is insanity. That's almost around the earth, my man.
All right, so I'm going to give you some fates warning advice as a going away present.
Okay.
Start with parallels, because if you start with the specter within, your head's going to explode.
Okay, you guys are always giving me music stuff that I listen to, and it always ends up me not liking it. I'm just letting you know that now. Because it's
you're a thinking man. You can handle a little bit of progressive rock.
Fine. You know what I need to be? I need to be alone, because if I'm with Roseanne will say, "What is this?" Then I have to do
all right. Promise me, if I send you a playlist, would you at least give it a shot?
Of course, if you send me a playlist, without a doubt.
All right.
I trust you. You haven't weirded me out yet.
Nice hat, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Of course, I knew you and Eric will enjoy it. I was thinking, you know what? I put on this shirt, and this hat was the first thing I thought of.
Perfect.
So it matches it. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, brother.
You got it. Craig in the car, as usual. And I'll take, actually, I don't want to take Jerry yet. I do want to take Bruce in a second, because I know he's calling about this as well. Bruce, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Reese?
I'm all right. What do you got for me?
So you guys are talking about fate's warning.
Oh, goodness gracious.
My best friend from high school was a founding member.
Oh, really?
So, yes, he was on the first album, I think it was Night on Brocken and Spectre Within.
Really?
And the guy still jams out. He's almost 65 now. He's in all kinds of bands, still plays. He actually made an album with a guy from, I don't know, Ohio or something.
Okay.
And they were like a best-selling album in Germany. So they're heavy metal guys, but yeah, check it out. It's some good stuff.
Can you say the guy's name?
Victor Arduini.
Okay, so Victor Arduini, and he had a hit record in Germany.
Yeah, he was. I think it was I think the band was A and B. It was his first initial, and the other singer.
Can I throw some cold water on that on the hit record in Germany?
Sure.
Also had a hit record in Germany. David Hasselhoff and Alyssa Milano.
Yes, no, I know that. In totally two different classes.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm sure he was a great player.
He's in a band. He loves Elvis, so he does some Elvis stuff.
Does he?
And yeah, they play locally. So they're pretty good too. So he's into all kinds of music.
You had me at Aaron. I love Elvis. You know what? You know I love Elvis. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
You got it.
You got it. Jerry is in Stafford. Hello, Jerry.
Hey, Reese, 3 quick points. Number one, I just saw the story about the GOP candidate for governor of Minnesota. His daughter was murdered in their home.
Yes.
And these people play for keeps, so you please be careful.
Yes, sir.
With, speaking the truth. They don't hate you because you lie. They hate you when you speak the truth.
Damn right.
Second point, are you an outdoorsman?
There's an old joke that I say is that my idea of roughing it is a hotel without Wi-Fi. So no.
There you go. Spend a night in a Motel 6 in Lumberton, North Carolina.
That may be a little too much for me. The doorway is right there on the street.
So this is, I ran this, the reason I asked is I ran this by 2 of my friends who are outdoorsmen, hunters.
Okay.
And I asked them, will a wild hog, will a feral hog, will a wild boar eat a human being if they find the body? And they said yes. And I'm watching the news coverage outside of Nancy Guthrie's house, and a wild boar just saunters onto the property. Doesn't, with all the TV cameras and all the reporters, it just seemed very strange.
Such a good point. I saw that footage as well, and it didn't even dawn on me. And I've had an encounter with a herd of wild boars in Texas. So I totally get that. In seeing that, I just went, oh, that's interesting. They've got wild boars too. And it just completely slipped my mind. That's exactly what they'll do.
Well, but the thought that screamed in my head was, if you remember the scene from Jaws where they cut the shark open to see if the kid's in there, it's like shoot that animal or tranquilize it and open it up and see if there's human remains inside.
It's a good point.
It's a terrible thing to think, but it was just really weird for a wild, a feral hog to be wandering in with all these journalists. But then again, maybe they fit in.
They were in pleasant company. Thank you, boss. Real quick, you got a last one.
Point number 3. Gateway Pundit has a story about an Obama judge freed 3 murderers and 1 child predator who were slated for deportation. They were being held in prison, but that the Obama judge let these. So for all those Democrats that say, "Oh no, we want the murderers gone too. We don't want the housekeepers to be kicked out, but we'll let the murderers. We want them gone." Well, no, they don't. This Obama judge freed these 3 with criminal convictions outside the United States, I suppose. Freed them. They were being held for ICE with final orders of deportation. And this judge just let them walk.
It's not a bit. You think that's bad? I read the Boasberg story. Judge Boasberg ordering the Trump administration to return the Venezuelans.
An evil man.
He's absolutely unreal. That guy.
He went to the Trump indictment on his day off to watch it.
It wasn't that a wild one. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate you, man.
I know.
You got it. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher is not in, so we have Tom O'Hanlon. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. See what I did there? That was smart, see? Ha-ha!
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. On the westbound side of 84, we're watching that traffic from Route 2 across the river into Hartford. We're looking at a lot of traffic there. Now, by the time you get into West Hartford, we're pretty much in the clear with just traffic volume. On the eastbound side of 84, we have traffic up at Park Street and then at Frog Hollow, all of that feeding up into Hartford. And if you're going down 91, a little bit better. Going through Windsor, we still have some stop and go, but the northbound side's okay. 291 is moving. On Route 3, no trouble to report there. 91 northbound into Hartford, just for that last quarter mile or so, we're looking at some traffic. And also, Founders Bridge is pretty busy over to the Hartford side. Up and down 91 between Hartford and New Haven, we're in pretty good shape. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
A few passing clouds for us on a swift breeze, and as we go through tonight, we stay partly cloudy with a low of 11. Tomorrow is mostly sunny and a bright, beautiful finish for our work week with a high near 37. Tomorrow night, though, the clouds come back in and there'll be a passing snow shower or at least a few flurries late. There'll be little to no accumulation for that, but where we do get a little accumulation, just watch out for some slippery spots. A low of 14. Heading into Saturday, Valentine's Day, it's a couple of flurries for us in the morning. Otherwise, sun and clouds for the afternoon and a high of 42. Sunday will be partly sunny with a high of 38. As we go into Sunday night, do watch. There could be some snow flurries around, but overall fairly quiet for us heading into President's Day, which is mostly cloudy with a chance for a rain or snow shower and a high near 40. As we head into the early week next week, we will find those temperatures staying a little warmer in the mid-40s. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 5 o'clock. Hartford temperature 32 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. A blow to climate change regulations. President Trump has announced they are rolling back findings that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases endanger public health.
We are officially terminating the so-called endangerment finding, a disastrous Obama-era policy that severely damaged the American auto industry and massively drove up prices for American consumers.
He says it'll save money, but correspondent David Schechter reports.
Environmentalists warn any short-term savings will be dwarfed by failing to address the long-term costs of unchecked climate pollution that is driving more intense droughts, fires, and floods. The issue is certain to end up in the courts, with several environmental groups already threatening to sue.
Former President Barack Obama says the move leaves Americans less safe and less healthy. Well, you've seen this movie before. The country once again hurtling toward another partial government shutdown.
On this vote, the yeas are 52 and the nays are 47. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. The motion is not agreed to.
This after the Senate failed to advance a bill today to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Second crash involving a school bus in Connecticut this morning in Watertown. According to officials there, a school bus carrying about 10 children was rear-ended on Guernsey Town Road. The bus was stopped for traffic at the time. No injuries were reported. Investigators are trying to determine if sun glare played a factor in that crash. This occurred a day after a school bus was struck by a man in Southbury on Wednesday. That included several serious injuries. In fact, 2 of the kids were ejected from that bus. A 65-year-old is now facing DUI charges in that crash. Woman's under arrest after South Windsor police say she was part of a multi-state bank card theft scheme. Under arrest is 54-year-old Troy, New York resident Kimberly Maine. In addition to Connecticut, Maine faces similar charges in Massachusetts and Florida. South Windsor detectives launched their investigation in 2021 after 3 vehicles were broken into at Nevers Road Park. A driver's license and a bank card used to withdraw $27,000 were taken from one of the vehicles. And when arrested in Massachusetts, police said Maine was found to be in possession of stolen bank and credit cards, including from South Windsor. She faces larceny and other charges and is being held on bond. Another video post from the family of Nancy Guthrie, missing from her Arizona home nearly 2 weeks.
They're asking people to check their cameras for video on January 11th from 9 p.m. to midnight, and then again on Saturday, January 31st, from 9:30 in the morning to 11 a.m. The Sheriff's Department says that there was apparently a suspicious vehicle spotted on Via Entrada around 10 a.m. on January 31st, and that is the last day that anyone saw Nancy Guthrie.
Correspondent Andres Gutierrez in Tucson. Border Czar Tom Homan says the immigration crackdown in Minnesota was a success.
We've seen a big change here in the last couple of weeks, and it's all good change.
Homan says the details coming to an end. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
While the federal government may move on to whatever next thing they want to do, the state of Minnesota and our administration is unwaveringly focused on the recovery of what they did.
Censure of a decorated Navy pilot and astronaut by the defense secretary has been blocked.
A judge has temporarily blocked the Pentagon from punishing Senator Mark Kelly for calling on U.S. troops to resist unlawful orders.
Correspondent Steve Kathan, Kelly, and several Democratic lawmakers released that video last year. Dow lost 669 points today. The NASDAQ gave back 469. The S&P was down 108. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm Haley Allaire from Allaire Elder Law. To ensure that you stay at your best and are able to continue to safely live in the least restrictive environment possible, hopefully at home, these are things to consider to determine if you need some help. These include memory risks, such as wandering, getting lost in a familiar location, forgetting names of close family or friends, putting items in strange places, leaving the stove on without knowing, the inability to call 911 or leave the home in emergencies, forgetting to pay bills leading to utility shutoff, or the physical indications of difficulty bathing, dressing, toileting, getting out of a chair or bed, and feeding yourself. These are commonly called activities of daily living and are used to determine whether you or a loved one can apply for free care through Medicaid. Medicaid can take months to finish, so don't wait to start. More can be done if we begin before you're in a care crisis. Allaire Elder Law can help. Allaire Elder Law, compassionate counsel and proven results. AllaireElderLaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we are back, and when we return, we're going to do some music news and a story that was in the New York Post about Gene Simmons. And there's some interesting angles to this because it also involves, weirdly enough, Jerry Garcia and guitarist from the Rolling Stones, crazy guy. I'm sorry, hold on. What's his name?
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards, that's, of course, exactly right. So I want to talk about that with Chris. He'll join us in a minute to talk about that. I also, for tomorrow's program, we got to get to the bottom of this. Because they opened up a free grocery store in New York called Poly Market. And the crazy, Roseanne just literally proved my theory on this. So there's somebody there, and let me see if I can play the audio from Fox 5 in New York talking to this woman who is in the crowd. WNYW is the station there in New York. They're asking her about it. It says, I think it's called Poly Market. I don't know where it is in New York, but here's what she said.
It's a good idea, just for the experience. Right. I don't think it's a good idea for New York to do this all the time or every day on a consistent basis because it'll lead us back to maybe like Cuba when they give out food to families and everybody has to come.
So that's a concern for you.
Now, the reporter immediately cuts her off for good reason because she doesn't want that getting out there because that's exactly what's going to happen. And here's why. And it's real simple. We'll break the whole thing down. We'll get more audio sound bites for tomorrow. Here's the breakdown. What happens when you give out free groceries? Now, people say, well, this is to help the poor who can't feed themselves. No, it never does that because people are people. And if I find out, whoa, I don't have to spend my usual grocery budget on groceries anymore, I can go pick them up for free, well, I'm going to get online too. Sure, I can afford groceries, but they're giving them away. And I'm sorry, it's New York, and there are a lot of scumbags down there. They just are. Place is crawling with them. Crawling with them. And that's exactly what they'll do. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Stand by. Music news is coming up. Tom O'Hanlon is filling in for Mark Christopher. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. 84 westbound is packed pretty tight from Route 2 over to and across the river through downtown Hartford. On the eastbound side, we're okay in West Hartford, and then getting up into Frog Hollow and Parkville, we do have the steady traffic. If you're heading down 91 through Windsor, it's slow, and then getting down into 84, that's pretty jammed up. And if you're crossing the river at Founders Bridge, there is traffic there crossing into downtown Hartford. On Route 3, we're in pretty good shape. 91 is moving along decently both ways between Hartford and New Haven, and Wilbur Cross is getting the job done. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The rest of tonight is going to be partly cloudy with a low of 11 degrees. Tomorrow, we're mostly sunny, a high of 37. As we head into tomorrow night, mostly cloudy. There will be some snow showers around, even a few flurries mixing in. We're still expecting little to no accumulation. Do watch for some slippery spots, though, where that little accumulation does occur. 14 for the low. Saturday, Valentine's Day, a couple of flurries in the morning, but otherwise, sunshine, clouds puts us at a high of 42 for the afternoon. Sunday is partly sunny, a high of 38. And Monday, we're mostly cloudy with a chance for rain or even a snow shower, a high near 40. Right now, it's 31 in Vernon, 32 in Bristol, and 33 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Odyssey Hartford celebrates Black History Month, honoring Black icons. Bell Hooks was an author, feminist, activist, and scholar who created over 70 pieces of published work, ranging from films to children's books. One of her most notable works, All About Love, New Visions, influenced generations of feminists, educators, and artists. Hooks displayed to the world that the best way to make an impact is by talking back. Odyssey Hartford, celebrating Black artists, athletes, and trailblazers all month long. More on the Odyssey app.
Brought to you with pride by Goodwin University.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Atom X by Audion Hearing. The Atom X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Atom X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-295-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Atom X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-295-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-295-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let's do the thing. News. 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 Okay, today in music news, Gene Simmons has once again criticized the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for inducting hip-hop artists, calling the inclusion a mismatch for an institution named after rock and roll. In a recent appearance on the Legends and Leaders podcast around February 2026, the KISS bassist and frontman doubled down on his long-standing view, arguing that hip-hop doesn't belong alongside rock acts. He pointed out the irony of metal legends like Iron Maiden being excluded, despite selling out stadiums, while hip-hop pioneers such as Grandmaster Flash have been inducted. Simmons referenced past exchanges, including once with Ice Cube, whom he called the bright guy he respects, but emphasized it's not music. I don't come from the ghetto. It doesn't speak my language. He repeated his position, quote, I said in print many times, hip-hop does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, nor does opera, nor symphony orchestras. How come the New York Philharmonic doesn't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? because it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Simmons described rap and hip-hop primarily as spoken word art, with beats and occasional melodies added, but fundamentally verbal rather than musical in traditional rock sense. He sarcastically flipped the question, I just want to know when Led Zeppelin's going to be in a hip-hop Hall of Fame. This isn't new territory for Simmons. He voiced a similar complaint years earlier about the Hall evolving criteria, which included acts like Run DMC, Public Enemy, Beastie Boys, Jay-Z, and Eminem, and Missy Elliott. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has long defended its broader approach, emphasizing the spirit of rock and roll and cultural impact beyond strict genre lines. Now, Chris B., do you agree or disagree with Gene Simmons?
I see his point because it is called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe do something simple like change the name to the American Music Hall of Fame or the Trump Music Hall of Fame, for that matter. But then nobody will get in or nobody will want to be in. But anyway, no, I think he's got a point because if you're going to call it rock and roll, it seems to point to a specific genre of music. There's a lot of different subgenres in rock and roll, as we all know.
Right.
But it's a tough one because I do think that there's creativity that goes into the hip-hop music. There's creativity that goes into the rap music. There's real instruments that are played in rock and roll are also played in rap music. It's not just samples. There are actually actual musicians that play on a lot of those songs. So it is a slippery slope to say whether or not he's right or whether or not something should be done to exclude anybody or establish a whole new Hall of Fame.
I would establish a whole new Hall of Fame and have it have the criteria of a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because, and like I said, when I was listening to this, like I celebrated the fact that the Tribe Called Quest got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because I'm a big Tribe Called Quest guy. But I still can say that I was proud of them because, again, a fan, grew up with their music. And in fact, a lot of my production, when I wanted to be a hip-hop kid, when I did my first demo, they were my inspiration, as well as De La Soul. So getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I understood the prestige of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is why I congratulate them. Knowing that, Gene Simmons sort of brings me back to the reality of making that point. If you're going to induct rap into or hip-hop into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, why not opera singers? You know what I mean? Pavarotti's got to be in there now.
All music should be in there.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no distinction. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was a distinction. Now, I understand that the hall is probably saying, well, we have to be inclusionary. You can be. Because, I'll give you a perfect example. The Smithsonian did do an entire history museum for African Americans in D.C., didn't they? It's run by the Smithsonian.
Yep.
But they ran, again. And guess what? Not one person said, hey, why are you separating us? No one did. Everybody celebrated the fact that it was separated by the Smithsonian. So why not just do that? What do you got, Roseanne? I can't read that. Well, go grab the mic. Just grab the microphone. Oh, you want me to read it? Okay, I'll read it. She wants to join in here. Why not the Country Music Hall of Fame? It's great. Yeah, why not induct rap music into the Country Music Hall of Fame? You wouldn't dream of it.
Good point.
I mean, you just wouldn't do it, and the country music does have a Hall of Fame. Do you now say, like, I think the Grand Ole Opry has a Hall of Fame as well. I'm almost certain to do. Yeah,
most likely.
Yeah, without a doubt. So for you, this said you get the. Because I know Gene Simmons and, does Nelly go in the Country Hall of Fame? Keith Richards and, oddly enough, I did not know this, Jerry Garcia believed the same thing, that it was kind of disrespectful to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, maybe you get to a point where you've got a lot of these guys, those three individuals in particular, were pioneering in the evolution of rock and roll from late 50s, early 60s, some of them, to now, where there's probably more of a tolerance or an acceptance that you're splintering off from that original mainstay of rock and roll that probably spawned or gave birth to hip-hop, rap, because there's a lot of influences in a lot of that other music from rock and roll.
Indeed. Beastie Boys are a perfect example.
I mean, rock and roll was early influenced blues,
right?
Jazz.
Sure.
Morphed into rock and roll.
Right.
So it's only natural that these other genres probably also spawned from rock and roll as
Right.
that grew. So either side has a good point.
I believe, well, I can't say that so much for hip-hop because in its origination, hip-hop was very much an offshoot of disco and reggae music, weirdly enough. But those were the two subgenres that sort of melded the hip-hop sound.
Mm-hmm.
And that beat and the cadence, all of that, so both of those things were there. I remember when I was living in Queens on 191st Street, the guy who lived across the street from me was the bassist for a group called the Fatback Band. Now, a lot of people, do you know them? Have you ever heard of them?
Never heard of them.
Okay, well, they had a, I cannot remember it, but I want to say it was King T the Third was the name of the first real rap record. I'm almost certain of that. And what it was just a R&B rhythm track with a guy rapping over it. It is indeed considered the first real rap record. It never gets the credit, what do you call it? Rapper's Delight is always given like the first mainstream rap record. Yep. And of course, what is that from? It's a sample of a disco record. So you get what I'm saying. So it's like that's where that is.
That's where it more
so
came
it
from.
really doesn't have any roots in rock and roll at all, which is again why I understand why these guys are saying rock and roll. Who, by the way, do you remember who was the first person who used the term rock and roll? I think I know this.
Alan Freed or
it's either Alan Freed or it is
Bill Haley. No, he played.
No, they say the guy who coined the phrase rock and roll, and it's arguably this guy and somebody else, is Levy. Marv Levy. Marvin Levy. Whoever the guy was that was in charge of that guy who's saying, "Why do fools fall in love?" His name, he might be. Honey, can you figure out what his name was? The guy Levy. Why do fools fall in love?
And
he was a record producer.
The reference you're making to the roots of disco are kind of ironic because two of the three bands that you named are members of the bands, Rolling Stones, Kiss, all had a little bit of a disco phase.
And that's right. Yeah. That's right. That's exactly right. They did go through that a little bit.
A song or two.
Let me see. Should soccer players be in the Football Hall of Fame? That's a great argument. That is a wonderful argument.
The Pickleball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Herbert says, Reese, I'm neither Democrat or Republican. However, when a politician does something that is duplicitous and hypocritical, I have to comment. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. He's making some comment about Westmore. The guy who used to be the record executive, you know what? Look up Adam Levy's father from Warlock Records. Adam Levy ran Warlock Records. His father was a record executive back in the day. And you should be, I want to say his name is, was that Morris Levy? Morris Levy. It is said he is the guy who invented the phrase rock and roll. The guy who invented the phrase rock and roll. It's either him or it's another guy. But the point is that you're right. When blues was no longer blues, or at least the music that they were playing was no longer blues, it became rock and roll. You didn't find it? What do you got?
No, I got Alan Freed.
You got Alan Freed. Yep. When did they say he invented the word?
That's from AI, by the way, so you know it's true.
What year?
Early 1950s.
Okay, early 1950s. Okay, yeah, that's what you got? Okay. And what was Alan Freed's role in rock and roll?
I believe he was a DJ.
Oh, was he a radio DJ? Okay, that makes sense.
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
Cleveland District. Cleveland
District. That's right.
That's where the Hall of Fame is.
That's
Cleveland.
right. Makes sense. Anyway, but my bottom line is I think Gene Simmons is 100% right. As much as it is controversial, and I know a lot of people who are angered by that because they're saying, well, why can't we get in? I always brought up this stupid argument that was made many years ago. That out of nowhere, when the Academy Awards would not, God bless you, when the Academy Awards would not recognize a lot of black films, they immediately said, forget that. The NAACP is going to invent an award that celebrates black excellence. So they started the NAACP Image Awards. And then they lost all credibility when they nominated Justin Timberlake for Best R&B Album. They did it. Don't get mad at me. They did it. I did not. For some odd reason, that day, there wasn't enough blacks with R&B records. So Justin Timberlake got a nod.
It's a bad year.
It's a bad year for blacks and turn the NAACP. But anyway, that was the whole purpose of creating the NAACP Image Awards, because they felt they weren't getting recognized. Then they invented the Soul Train Awards, then the BET Awards, and all of that stuff. So sure enough, that was supposed to placate. But guess what? For some odd reason, that did not work, or it was not lasting. People started seeing those awards for what they were. Secondary. They wanted the big prize. No, it's nice to have the NAACP award, but I really, really want that Oscar. I really want that Golden Globe. I really want that Emmy. And that's where we are right now. In this whole thing, they want the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing because, as I said before, that these civil rights groups and these civil rights folks and these people always one thing. It's always one thing. It's wide acceptance or nothing. That's the truth.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's the constant need for wide acceptance in order to be legitimate. Because I would, look, if I were to get an NAACP award today, I would celebrate that. The NAACP wants to recognize my achievements? Are you kidding me? It would be the top of bill on me. Yeah. NAACP award-winning radio host, Reese On The Radio. But they, for some odd reason, don't seem to care. They want the white award. Yeah. I don't get it. So, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's a likelihood that Gene Simmons is going to create a controversy. It sparked some stuff today. But if I'm getting you right here, Chris, you think that you agree with Gene Simmons here.
I said he's got a point.
Oh, you didn't say you agree?
No, I don't know if I agree or not. I mean, but the way you lay out your argument there, or your points, is that it does seem to make sense that it should be, just like Roseanne said, the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's that. Maybe John Bon Jovi got into that one. I don't know, with Richie Sambora. But,
right.
But I don't know how you could say that everybody in this genre gets into this one.
Yeah, but not into the others.
Not into the others. So maybe he's right.
What? I would go so far as this. Here's the only thing you have to do, right? You make the hip-hop awards, right? You make the hip-hop Hall of Fame as legitimate as you would the rock and roll one.
Sure.
Build the building right next door.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Or
you just say
up.
Exactly.
One on top. Right. Floor on top.
Exactly. But you just legitimize it, right? You can still whiten it up, right? You induct them. Yeah, you do. You whiten it up. If it needs white legitimacy, just induct the Beastie Boys first, or Eminem,
or have Ryan Seacrest host the event.
But you know what? You're thinking. You are always thinking, my friend. It's just, I just thought it was weird. If you've got an opinion, let me know. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. We'll take a break in a second. We get ready to wrap this up with Chris. Roseanne is in the background. She, of course, will be here tomorrow. She is watching bloopers and a whole bunch of other stuff and complaining about her meal because she cooked it. She made me eat all of this healthy stuff, and now she doesn't like the food. What? What's it called? Spanakopita?
Sounds like a disease.
That's horrible.
It's going to give you a disease.
What? Yeah, I know, but you chose it. This is, by the way, this is that Tovella thing. By the way, tomorrow I want to hear from people who have purchased this this device, this Tovella thing. If you've done that, I want to hear from you tomorrow. Explain this to me and why do you like this thing. I want to know all about it. Let's get another break. Weather and traffic's coming up. Mark Christopher is out. So filling in is Tom O'Hanlon right here on WTIC.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. This traffic report is brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. On the westbound side of 84, plenty of traffic from exit 55 to 43. Eastbound on 84, we're slowing down through the approach there from Prospect Avenue into downtown Hartford. Route 2 westbound is pretty busy up into 84 now, and Route 3 is okay. 91 southbound stop and go from North Meadows to 84, and northbound it's good up into 291. On Wilbur Cross, if you're slowing down, heading down into West Haven. That is traffic. And also, we're looking at New Haven's 95 southbound congestion. Exit 47 to 43. Looks like a collision working there, too, now. Traffic moves slow, but your transformation shouldn't. Columbia Implant Center provides full dental implants in just one visit. Open 7 days a week in Manchester to fit your busy life. Get your smile back today at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
A few passing clouds for us on a swift breeze, and as we go through tonight, we stay partly cloudy with a low of 11. Tomorrow is mostly sunny and a bright, beautiful finish for our work week with a high near 37. Tomorrow night, though, the clouds come back in and there'll be a passing snow shower or at least a few flurries late. There'll be little to no accumulation for that, but where we do get a little accumulation, just watch out for some slippery spots. A low of 14. Heading into Saturday, Valentine's Day, it's a couple of flurries for us in the morning. Otherwise, sun and clouds for the afternoon and a high of 42. Sunday will be partly sunny with a high of 38. As we go into Sunday night, do watch. There could be some snow flurries around, but overall fairly quiet for us heading into President's Day, which is mostly cloudy with a chance for a rain or snow shower and a high near 40. As we head into the early week next week, we will find those temperatures staying a little warmer in the mid-40s. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
30 degrees at 5:30. I'm John Silva. The surge is over in Minnesota. Border czar Tom Homan says the details coming to an end. Thousands were arrested and 3 people were killed when the program started back in December. Woman facing charges after South Windsor police say she swiped bank and credit cards in several car break-ins in town. Kimberly Main is from New York State. She's charged. They say she rang up $27,000 on one bank card and is facing similar charges in Massachusetts and in Florida. No injuries in a school bus crash this morning in Watertown. Officials say that bus was rear-ended on Guernsey Town Road. There were 10 kids on board at the time. It comes a day after a school bus crash in Southbury involving an alleged impaired driver who is now facing charges. School in Oxford will remain closed for the rest of this week. Frozen pipes and heating issues at Quaker Farm School led to that decision by school officials. The frigid temps played a part in the problems with the heating and the piping there. Investigators are pleading with people to share home surveillance camera footage from specific dates leading up to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie as they deal with thousands of tips in the hope of cracking the case. The 84-year-old mother of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie has been missing from her Tucson area home since February 1st. And a federal judge has temporarily blocked the Pentagon from punishing Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, former U.S. Navy pilot, for participating in a video that called on troops to resist unlawful orders. A district court judge today ruled that Pentagon officials had violated Kelly's First Amendment free speech rights. The markets pretty much in free fall, not free fall, but not great either. The Dow shed over 660 points today. The NASDAQ gave back 469, and the S&P saw a drop of 108 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full-pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
Don't forget to ever do that. Go online to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, WTIC.com, or download the Odyssey app for the program so you can boost our numbers, make us feel good about ourselves. That's all it's about. That's all it is. Also, you can never, ever miss a program. And you don't want to miss today's monologue. Please, if you are late here today, definitely go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com after the show or go to WTIC after the show and listen to the opening monologue. If I do say so myself, it was a doozy. Let me read this from Herbert. Herbert writes, Reese, I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. However, when a politician does something that is duplicitous and hypocritical, I have to comment. Trump criticized Maryland Governor Wes Moore as foul-mouthed. Moore has used profanities in the past, but no one approaches the use of profanity that Trump has used. Really? Anyway, I think Trump just talks too much and says things that he should not say. I think some people would be more receptive of Trump with less rhetoric. Herbert, let me respond, because this is important to you. And this is the part that I don't get. The President of the United States is a public servant, but he is elected by millions, tens of millions of people. And that deserves some respect. Please understand that. Wes Moore was elected too, but Wes Moore didn't get 77 million votes in Maryland. It's Maryland. It's Maryland. And Wes Moore does understand that Donald Trump is, in essence, the chief executive. But you know what I notice, Herbert? You don't. You don't recognize Donald Trump as the chief executive. So when you say Trump just talks too much and says things he should not say, as if to suggest you get to determine what the most powerful man on earth gets to say. Do you really think you get to dictate that? And then holler free speech when somebody tells you what you can and cannot say? Think about that. Would you have ever said that to Barack Hussein Obama? Perhaps when he said the Boston police or the Cambridge police acted stupidly, would you have said, yeah, Barack, you shouldn't talk so much? Or when he said Trayvon Martin could have been my son. Really? I don't remember Michelle having any boys. Would you have told him to shut up then? Maybe not ruffle the feathers? Huh? Would you? When he said that America is not the only exceptional country, would you have told him to be quiet then? Or when he went out on an apology tour, when he went to Egypt and went to apologize to Muslim nations after we hunted down radical fundamentalists who attacked us and continued to attack us for years, causing us to have a 23-year war. Unnecessary, but still a 23, 24-year war. Did you tell him to be quiet then? No, you didn't. You see, you don't see Donald Trump as the chief executive. You think he's a Twitter rival. That's why. So I'm just going to recognize his gangster, and I'm going to tell him to keep tweeting, my friend. Keep tweeting. Let's get back to the weather and traffic with my good friend, Tom O'Hanlon. He's in
I'm
for
Tom
Mark
O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Going up Route 2, look at all that traffic feeding up into westbound 84. That's because 84 is packed really tight from Route 2 across the river into downtown Hartford, and it continues through downtown Hartford for about another half mile or so after you're out of the immediate downtown area. Now on the southbound side of 91, still plenty of traffic approaching 84. Founders Bridge, by the way, has picked up a lot of traffic on the Hartford side if you're trying to go across the river into Hartford. And then as we check your ride on Route 3, we're in pretty good shape there. 91 has a bit of stop and go here and there, but we haven't seen too much. Just around the airport, we were passing by with some brake lights. And Wilbur Cross slows down as you're getting down into the area around West Haven. Now, southbound 95 New Haven, plenty of traffic there. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 11, and tomorrow is a bright, beautiful finish for us for the work week. Mostly sunny with a high of 37. Tomorrow night, it will be mostly cloudy, and we'll be watching some snow showers and flurries passing by. Little to no accumulation, but where there is maybe a little accumulation, there could be some slippery spots, so do watch out for that. 14 for the low. Saturday, we are, for Valentine's Day, dealing with a few flurries in the morning, but otherwise it's sun and clouds and a high of 42. Sunday will be partly sunny, a high of 38. And as we head into Monday, we're mostly cloudy with a chance for a rain or snow shower, high of 40. Right now it's 34 in Windsor, 33 in Manchester, and 33 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolution, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver. From New Nordic, Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon or in stores at CVS, Wegmans, and now GNC.
President Trump said, "I like Newsmax. You like it too." It's true. Millions of Americans agree with President Trump, and they're switching to Newsmax for the news they can trust. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start. Go to newsmaxplus.com for immediate access. Get all of President Trump's most important events live. Imagine watching Mike Huckabee's Israel special, our Melania documentary, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Kirk specials, even the movie Jesus of Nazareth by Franco Zeffirelli. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. So try it for free. Go to newsmaxplus.com, then download the app. It's easy. So make the switch to Newsmax Plus today.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, get to the phones real quick. Let me read some of the comments in the chat room. Let me see what we got here. Not rap, but rap Charlie Daniels, Uneasy Rider. Also, I don't know what that song is. Sorry, John Doe, not familiar with that one. Let me see here. Queen of David Bowie did a disco song also. If you think Under Pressure is a disco song, it's not really. It's not. I don't think it's a disco song. I don't know. It's questionable, right?
Yeah.
That's a questionable one. Ethel Merman did a disco album, too. This does not qualify her to get into Disco Hall of Fame. And by the way, Craig, neither does Pat Boone's rock album. You guys, it's like you have to have a consistent. I know he did a Pat Boone. I know he did one, but it's not a consistent, like, a career in rock music. And Pat Boone is a weird guy. I knew he was weird when I first saw his specials growing up.
Yep.
Huh? Pat Boone is a guy.
Look him up.
Yeah, look him up. He's always been a weird guy. Michael Bolton's first album was hair metal. That's right. Michael Bolton, I did a story on him. In fact, we had a guest on here who did his whole sort of like background on Instagram. It was the most amazing video I ever watched. I had the guy on as a guest. He talks about Michael Bolton all the way from when he was 15 years old. And how his brother was a star first, and said everywhere his brother went was saying, wait till you hear my brother sing. He knew that Michael Bolton was going to be a star.
Right.
He knew that, I mean, from the get-go. Did you say Kenny G? For what? Okay, stop. Anyway, let me see. I seem to remember Biden making comments about people from India in convenience stores. Yes, I wish somebody would have told him not to speak. That's right. He goes, hey, you can't go to a 7-Eleven without hearing one of them Indian folks. That's what he said. I've never had, I know, that Barack Obama, he's clean and articulate. I mean, it's never even seen anything like that before. Clean and articulate. I don't even know what the clean part means. It's like, the boy washes. He actually scrubs, takes baths, unlike other blacks. Like, is that what you say?
Those people.
Did you see Muhammad Jihad? Is that what you said? You're a mess. Just stop. Anyway. Yeah, you're not allowed, by the way, in no way whatsoever, to say the president needs to stop this and stop that. Herbert, it's just something you need to recognize. And I want to go back to his statement earlier. This is something that a lot of these people need to understand. Stop dealing with Donald Trump like he's a celebrity on The Apprentice. Those days are over. All right? He is the twice elected president of the United States, okay? He's a leader of the free world. That's who he is. You guys don't think he's legitimate? That's fine. But you have to reconcile with that. Just, talk to your sponsor. He is the president of the United States, okay? Like, seriously, seek help, talk to a therapist, okay? All this is, and the screaming and hollering, all it is about you. It's not about Donald Trump. He doesn't care that you don't like what he says. He doesn't care that it irritates you. Like, when you were shouting to people like me, you're not reaching Donald Trump. I promise you, when you tell me all this stuff or you're posting online, nobody you know online is going, Donald, you should have to hear what Morty said about you on Facebook today. You have no idea how upset. Like, stop. Like, you are the one that is like, you're like blowing your own self up in the sense of, like, you really think what you think matters. You've been led to believe that your silly little point of view, when you're talking about Donald Trump, in some way reaches him. It's a pipe dream beyond pipe dreams. Relax. And when you're out in your protest and the news is covering you with the camera and you're waving at the camera, look, I said no kidding. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I know this incessant need to just be a part of something. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I know you liberals are listening to me, and I know you listen to me, so pay very close attention, okay? Seriously, okay? Listen. Sit down. Take a minute, okay? Get a hobby. Crochet, knit, dog walk, do arts and crafts. I know life can be boring. I know that sometimes you might be saying to yourself, what can I give to the world? Volunteer. Okay? Contact my good friends at the Salvation Army. Contact anybody and just put your, let's just say, passion to work for others other than your ego. I know it's about likes, and I know it's about shares, but leave that to the teenagers. You're a grown-ass man, and you're a grown-ass woman. You've got grandchildren. Give. Somebody out there needs a mahjong partner, and you're depriving them of that. Get to it. Think about all those people who are sitting lonely at the nursing home or at the hospital. Think about all the good you can be doing instead of shouting at the moon. Damn you, Trump! Damn you! You don't have to do that. Why get your stress up? USA. Go do some good in the world. That's what I'm doing. I joined a church. I give when I can. We just gave over $700 to Connecticut Food Share. You can too. By the way, I want to thank all of you who gave. Just try. You could do so much. Seriously, you could do so much. Let's go to Dan in Manchester. How are we, Dan?
Oh, we are spectacular.
How are you, buddy? What's going on?
You actually picked up on my pronouns. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. No problem. What do you got for me?
Hey, you mentioned something about Fate's Warning in the last hour. What was that you were talking about?
Okay, I don't know anything about this band, but apparently Chris here does, and so does Craig in the car, and a whole bunch of other folks. They're a local band, and apparently they had some, like a considerable amount of success, Chris?
Yeah, they had 13 albums.
13? That's not even, that's a lot of success.
Some live stuff, too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me ask Chris then. Have you ever listened to Arch Matheos?
Oh, yeah, I've got both of those albums, too, and they're bangers. Both of them are awesome.
Yeah, because I grew up with John Arch.
Did you?
And, yeah, he's still here. He's in Coventry. Still makes music. He's toured with the band a few times. He's the original singer that left way back.
Yep.
But he's toured with them a few times. He's gone over to Germany and Europe. They're still hugely popular over there.
So he's in Coventry.
And,
I'm in Vernon, and that would explain why they did the video for Tethered. It has Henry Park in Vernon. That's where they filmed a good part of the video. I always wondered why. I'm in the neighboring town. I'm in Coventry a few times a month, and I don't even know that John Arch is in the next town over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's his full name was John Archibald.
Yep.
So but he
Oh, did he shorten it? Wait a minute. Did he shorten it because it sounded more rock?
Yeah, well, think about it.
Yeah.
You're in a band called Fate's Warning, and your name is John Arch.
Yeah.
Arch enemy, Arch whatever.
Arch.
So it was a great thing. Yeah. But he's a great guy. He's like a very unassuming, nice person when you meet him and stuff. He's not one of these guys who's a rock star.
I hear you. Well, he's from Connecticut. I can see that kind of humility. Yeah. It's sort of a humbleness, if you will.
Yeah. Hey, play Midnight Serenade for Reese.
I will.
It's probably one of their most I want to say closer to mainstream kind of songs.
Okay.
That's a great song.
Is it?
And don't forget, Michael Bolton's name was Michael Bolton originally.
That's right. That was also a part. Yeah, that was also a part of that documentary.
Yeah, his first hit was "Fool's Game."
Was that a part of it?
That was his first MTV video.
Right.
There,
is that the song? Is that the song that he released, but then the label dropped him afterwards?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
He's on stage playing the guitar, and he comes out. He's got the leather pants on and everything. And then, a couple years later, he comes out and he's doing
ballads,
mommy's crotch music, and you're like, oh my God. But the thing is, the guy had a voice.
Always. His brother said it since he was 15.
No matter where he was in any genre, he had a voice that just came across.
Yeah.
Phenomenally. And that's the thing is, when you want to talk about musicians, guys like that. I mean, it's so sad about his
cancer,
his cancer and everything. It's really sad, but the guy, I'm sorry, but he definitely made a lot of women swoon over the years.
But you know what? Michael Bolton, believe it or not, because people think, people who didn't know his story would have thought that this guy was an overnight success. But if you really watch that documentary the guy does on Instagram, that this guy literally paid his dues for years being a,
yeah.
he had one album, then he dropped by the label, then he became a songwriter. I mean, this guy went through every nook and cranny of the music business before he made it big.
And it's like, he was one of the guys at Toad's Place. He was playing there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, and I think, if I'm thinking correctly, back in the day, he was at the very end of the Shabu Inn. He used to play out there on Willimantic.
Huh. Wild.
Which was like, that place burned to the ground years ago.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know Chris is going to send me a whole bunch of music that I've got to listen to now. Craig is as well. He's going to give me the entire catalog for me to listen to. I hope I have to take a long drive soon so that I can listen to all of this.
It will be.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a good day.
Thank you, buddy. Let's go to Stevie V in Waterbury. What's going on, sir?
Before I give you a little inside baseball, and I want to talk about Trump real quick.
Steve, I couldn't hear you. Say again.
Well, I'm going to talk about Michael Bolton, but I want to talk about Trump real quick.
Go ahead, real quick.
Trump is a New Yorker, and I like that he's not politically correct because things were really going downhill with all that.
That's right.
Before Michael Bolton hit it big, I used to manage a band, and I had a partner that had all kinds of connections. An acquaintance of mine, Dave, used to play guitar with him. He wanted me to beat Michael if he could manage him. But my partner didn't want to go down that road. But I do have an old tape before he really hit it.
Really? You got an old Michael Bolton tape?
Yep, I think a garage tape that's on cassette.
Has it ever been heard before?
I listened to it myself.
No, but has it ever been heard by the masses before?
I'm not sure because it's going back in the 80s.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Listen to me. Nobody wants that tape more than I do. Do you understand me? I've got an unreleased Christina Aguilera album.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And it's good. And it should have been released. But the people that she was working with, they ended up suing her and a whole 9 yards, and it never got released. But it's really, really good.
No kidding.
Yeah, if you got that tape, Stevie V, you need to get that to me, at least a copy of it.
Well, we'll see what I can do for you. I got to find it first, but I'm still going.
We'll
talk to you later. Okay?
You got it, boss man. Thank you.
All right, bye.
You got it. Stevie V, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, thank you as always. I'd like it when you come by here. You don't get a lot of time off, do you?
No, and the only reason I'm here is because the golf courses are closed down because of the snow. Otherwise, that's where I'd be on a day off. No, I have a pretty liberal amount of time off that I can take. I just choose to work and dedicate myself to my craft. And but anytime
your craft of golf?
No.
Oh.
My real job.
Oh, okay.
Which will remain unnamed.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
So no, but anytime you want me in here, if you give me a few days notice,
okay,
I could take time.
I love it when you come in.
Have a lot of fun.
I know you always say that every time you come in.
I've been on here 2 times, which is 2 times more than I've been on Saturday Night Live, which is a real treat. So thank you for that.
Well, I always love the fact that you have so much fun here because I'm sitting here watching you guys watch me work, and even you said he was like, I thought you didn't have an opening monologue. I was like, I didn't.
Nope.
I didn't have an opening.
Watched it made up on the fly. I was super impressed.
That's because I try to tell people that if it's in my head, that's all I need, and it's what I believe and what I think. So I'm good to go.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, Chris, as always, man, thank you so much. And please send my best to your beautiful wife, who I can't wait for Roseanne to meet. I want to see what happens when a Mexican and a Brazilian get in the same shopping mall.
It'll be very loud.
It will?
Yeah.
It will be loud. Well, that will be new.
Oh, really?
That will be new. Yeah, because Roseanne's always telling me to keep it down. So these two, will they be doing Spanish words when they get around each other?
Oh my God.
No, my wife now speaks Spanish very fluently.
Ha ha!
She immersed herself in the culture.
Look at that.
You ever heard of a show called Caso Cerrado?
No, I don't even know what that
is.
is.
Univision, don't watch it. It's the Jerry Springer of courtroom drama. With all Spanish-speaking people on it. Nothing against Spanish-speaking people, obviously, but it is the most ludicrous stuff you could ever watch.
That's like when the mermaid in Splash learned English by watching bad television. We got to get out of here. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you, and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. He is Chris B. Roseanne. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. Getting us out of here is, what's his name? Tom Millsap? No, I'm kidding. Tom O'Hanlon. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Well, that's cleaning up nicely on westbound 84. Yes, we still have the traffic crossing the river into downtown Hartford, but it's doing a lot.